You're about to listen to TADPOG. Tyler and Dave play old games. It's a comedy video game podcast. We would like to stress that the hosts are not experts and are really just very crass commentators. Seriously, this is an explicit podcast that happens to talk about video games sometimes. So please enjoy this pretty okay podcast with Tyler and Dave.
Hello, Internet. Feels like it's been a while.
It does. Man, as I was driving over here, I was thinking, it feels like I was just over there. So I think I'm the odd man out. I really was like having to make sure that it was Thursday, that we did record 1 week ago and not a few days ago.
Yeah, I had actually problems remembering today was Thursday too.
Yeah, courtesy of the randomizer telling us, hey, do Mohawk and Headphone check. So that's what we're going to be doing. So we're going to be talking about. But before just delving into this sweet ass, if Apple made it, it would be called Mohawk game. What you guys been up to?
Busy week. I know you
heard.
No, you've had a busy week. Mine's been busy in a different way. I didn't really watch much stuff this time around. I'm still just kind of burning through Demon Slayer, so there's really not a lot to report on that front. But I had like other stuff happen. We first of all, I have a McDonald's update. It's not great.
Hey, any McDonald's update is good news as far as I'm concerned.
Well, it's not. It's more of a we're still in a pending information. But I actually talked to the person at the office, Penny,
right?
And
who we're definitely going to get on the show.
She said, "Yeah, I'll ask her." I said I wasn't going to do it, but fuck it, I'm
awesome.
gonna ask her.
I'm glad you came around.
I
wonder what she thinks about Mohawk and Headphone jack.
I bet she has a copy.
That'd be rad. We definitely need to get her on a show. Anyone has a copy of that game needs to, and possibly know where McDonald's fans are. They belong.
So they still don't know where the fans are. They're still but they are looking still for pictures of the old
lost
restaurant.
in that goddamn submarine.
Yeah,
I think they
determined that thing is done. They found the remains.
So by the time this comes out, it was very found.
Yeah, it was super found. The moment I heard that on the, not that they found it, but they're like, it's missing. I was like, they're fucking
fucked.
Dead. They're dead.
It's my understanding, I talked to Tanya about it a little bit today because we've been talking about it a lot. I have thoughts on that, but I'm not going to delve too deep into it, if you know what I mean. It's believed at this point that they imploded 2 hours into their mission.
Oh, I didn't know it was only 2 hours, and yeah,
it was
I heard them implode, but I didn't hear that.
I can't even.
I was reading some quotes by the guy who owns the company and shit. It's just like, wow.
I watched the video.
Icarus come again. The hubris on this guy.
Really? What were the quotes like?
Yeah, it was bad.
It was about safety being bullshit.
Oh, cool.
And how he knows what he's doing.
He knows what he's doing. This is you don't.
The only important thing is it doesn't implode.
Clearly, our perfect design can't implode. It's just a tube. With
a PlayStation controller.
It's actually a GameCube controller.
It was a GameCube controller?
I think it's just a general Logitech
knockoff.
Shitty Bluetooth controller for $30 on Amazon.
Yeah.
Hey, good enough for Smash?
That's what got me, yeah. Good enough for to get smashed in on the bottom of this ocean.
Yeah, that thing was not designed to do what they wanted it to do. It's failed every single time they've tried to do it. It's failed. Not catastrophically, but enough to where they've had to call it off and someone's had to pull them out of the water because it's a submersible. It's not a submarine. So it means it doesn't move under its own power. It essentially just free floats to the bottom or to wherever. But that thing's not designed for the pressure, and it's known that thing was a death trap. They knew it. They knew and went anyway. Someone took their teenage son.
Yeah, I know.
Which makes me sick.
Yeah. He's like 19 or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And, he's old enough to vote. I get it. He said, well, he was an adult. Somebody's going to say it.
Not old enough to drink.
Not old enough to make a decision to go in a fucking metal tube down into the ocean and probably die.
He doesn't even know what a GameCube controller is.
No, he doesn't.
Poor guy. I had no idea.
So in Titanic, in the movie, there were the old couple that held themselves in the bed as the water rushed in.
Sure.
There would be no...
Sure, yeah.
The thing about...
That was a real-life couple, and their great-granddaughter was one of the people who died in the submarine.
Really? Mm-hmm. Wow.
Oh, my God. Well, the fact of the matter is they didn't know. Implosion is instant. You're Play-Doh.
Yeah.
You're done. It's over.
Yep.
There was no... When it happens... It just happens instantly. If you've ever seen the movie The Abyss, it's about this underwater exploratory station, and they come across some alien presence, and they send down Marines, and the Marines are hell bent on blowing it up and sending a nuke down. And one of the guys, the leader of the Marine squadron or whatever that comes down there, he gets nitrogen sickness and he goes nuts. He's just lost all sense of judgment. And he gets in a sub and tries to take the nuke down to the alien, and he goes too deep and the thing implodes. And it's a pretty accurate representation of what happens in an implosion underwater. It's instantaneous. They wouldn't have felt anything.
Yeah.
They might have heard the noise of the, trillions of pounds of pressure being put on the outside of that vehicle, but it wouldn't have been for long, and then they would have died instantly. So it's a fucking horrible, just tragedy. But only for, as far as I'm concerned, only for the people that
teenager.
believed what that shithead was selling them.
Yeah.
And it's too bad.
You talking about Abyss, man. God, that made me want to reread Sphere. I loved that book. After Jurassic Park came out, I
read a lot of Michael Crichton.
read a
as
lot
well.
of Michael Crichton
I
up
did
until
too.
it got to the legal stuff or whatever. And it's okay.
I'm good. Yeah, same.
But yeah, I like Sphere a lot. I never saw the movie. I think it had Sam Jackson in it. I think.
I can't remember. God, now I gotta.
I mean, I think it. I never
Wasn't that
saw
the one
it,
with
so-
Dustin Hoffman and
That's Hook.
That's it.
Oh, that's right. That's the only movie I forgot.
Only one with him.
That's the
in
only
it.
one
That's the
Dustin
only one he
Hoffman was
did.
in. He was
Yeah.
in and out in one.
That's silly of
Yeah.
you to.
God,
That flash in the pan Dustin Hoffman.
silly me. And Sharon Stone, who played Tinkerbell in Hook. I mean, wait,
That would have been interesting.
would have been better.
Yeah. Yeah.
Probably.
Probably.
She may not have minded not being on set. Who knows?
It's true.
So, in lieu of fan locations and McDonald's pictures, Taryn, is now our Louisville correspondent.
Banana hammock?
Banana hammock flavor trick, Princess Consuela banana hammock flavor trick. Taryn Dahl,
I just call it banana hammock.
congratulations on your marriage. Is I'm gonna have to add Louisville correspondent in front of her name now. She's gonna check and see if she thinks there's like this thing in Louisville that's like big McDonald's something or other. I can't remember what they said it was, or she said it was, but she's pretty convinced there's fans like that in this thing. So we're gonna hopefully maybe get at least
Pretty
an idea
badass.
of what they
Yeah.
look like.
So that was a McDonald's thing. Other places had fans like that. It wasn't just.
I can't imagine that was unique to our store, but maybe it was. I don't know. I never really left Paducah much in the 80s. And by the time I started leaving Paducah, the McDonald's weren't in malls anymore. So,
They were in Walmarts and they were gone.
yeah.
We took a lot of road trips when I was a kid. I don't remember seeing, and man, anytime I could get my parents to stop at McDonald's, I absolutely would. Never saw any fans. So
Yeah.
I think that my guess is that might have been like a Kentucky Oaks special.
Yeah.
One shot wonder.
Maybe. Because I don't.
You gotta have this space pretty cheap, but those fans stay non-negotiable. All right.
So there's that. And then I found out, well, first of all, Gage and his girlfriend, they just got back from Bonnaroo.
Okay.
They went to Bonnaroo and had a good time. They made a questionable, in his mind, decision to leave Sunday afternoon. They had been there since like Thursday or Wednesday, and they made the decision to leave early on that Sunday, even though the final act of the night was Foo Fighters, which really pretty much everyone wanted to go see Foo Fighters, and they said, no, we're going to go. So they left, and they managed to get to an Airbnb in Nashville in an hour and a half, which is great when you consider how busy and crowded Bonnaroo is. And then we watched the concert on Hulu. They streamed it live on Hulu. And Gage was also watching the concert in their Airbnb, and he was just like lamenting the fact that they missed it. But then they did a drone shot of it from way up high.
Yeah.
And hoo boy, if there were less than 40,000 people in that crowd, I would be shocked. It looked like a sea
New variants. You could see them. New COVID variants. Being birthed.
Exactly. Being birthed at that moment. Yeah, it was insane. The stage looked tiny compared to the crowd, and it was the main stage at the show.
Wow.
So it's a great concert, and we got to watch it, which was neat. And Gage obviously was sad that he didn't get to go, but I told him, I'm like, man, could you imagine trying to leave Bonnaroo with 40,000 other people?
Fuck.
Well, it turns out he said, like, he found out from some other people that he knew that stayed. Some people were in their cars trying to get out of there for 11 hours.
Whoa.
Because they had one way in and out. It ain't like, Disney World where they plan for, they have the infrastructure.
Right,
They
sure.
have one place for all these cars to go in, and hoo boy. So he was glad he missed out on the 11 hours of sitting in the car and probably running out of gas and having nowhere to go to the bathroom. All of that was probably a good thing.
I can't.
But
I was never planning on going to Bonnaroo, but you just made sure I will never, ever, ever go to
same.
Bonnaroo.
I thought I might like to go sometime, but now I know that it's just too much. And I would also feel like I would also not want to be faced with the decision to see a band live that I've always wanted to see versus not getting out of here for 13 hours. You know what I mean? So then I found out that my youngest son, Miles, is in Japan.
He didn't invite us?
Nope, he didn't invite us. He just texted me Saturday night to tell me Happy Father's Day. And he's like, Happy Father's Day, love you. Sorry I couldn't be there. Sorry I'm messaging you early, but I'm getting ready to leave to get on a plane to go to Japan until July 13th.
Till July 13th. That's a nice long
that's a
time.
long time.
Yeah,
You
that's
come
awesome.
back here for July 4th, then you can go back again, but you ain't going to be in Japan for July 4th.
That's right.
There's a guy that, off topic, but there's a guy that I took a ticket from at work today. One of our clients he was needing me to help him set up to work remotely. And he was like, I'm going to be in London, England, on the 5th of July, and I need to make sure I can remote in. I'm like, you're literally going to the country that July 4th is made to celebrate our independence from?
He's just going to rub it in.
Yeah, it must be. Flip his chin at him, have his tea, talk about Boston. I don't know. But anyway, Miles is in Japan. He does not stay very well in touch with me, so I'm sure I'll get all the deets from him when he gets back. But he's been wanting to go. He's studying Japanese. He's trying to become. I think he's going to pull an Ashley Shake. I think
You could have Shake show him around.
I'm not going to do that, but he could. He could. I think he's going to do that route where I think he's going to try to eventually get his degree and go over there and teach English. If that is what happens, that would be amazing because it would be his dream. He has wanted to do this for his whole life. So that's Miles' situation. And then last thing, I've got a couple more things, but I'm not going to take up too much more time with my bullshit. We went to the fair last night.
Again.
The fair.
It's not bullshit.
The McCracken County Fair.
Yeah. I haven't been yet. Not this year.
Well, we hadn't been in a while.
Went last
Millennium
year.
Falco played there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did. I caught the Millennium Falco concert.
Mm-hmm.
It's weird. This big Indian
still around?
statue came to life and started breathing fire, and I don't know.
They got to be getting a little old at this point, right?
yeah. Funny. Yeah, but they were real good, and then we took Cohen because he's 6 and he never had been, and he wanted to go, and so we were like, absolutely. Well, we got lucky because it turns out that first and foremost, Wednesday night, the week that the fair's in town, is the night to go because there's like not that many people there. The lines are real short.
Makes sense. Yeah.
You know,
First night, church night.
yeah, exactly. It was a church night, and I think that's probably why it wasn't very busy. And then we sprung for parking. We live close, but we didn't want to have to walk
Sure. Yeah.
5 blocks with Cohen because his little legs, he'd get tired. And so we drove and we just said, screw it. We paid $5 for parking that was literally right across the street from the fair.
Mm-hmm.
So we didn't have to walk. We just got out of our car, across the street, and we were there. And then it was beautiful weather. It was cool. It was breezy. And so we got in and, you know, they had the Gravitron, right? You know,
Yeah.
the Gravitron. This is the one that looks like a flying saucer that you go inside and then it spins around real fast and the gravity pins you to the wall and you're on this little track, this little pad that's on a track and it raises up and you get pinned to the wall. Well, we were trying to convince Cohen to go on the Gravitron and he wasn't having it. I even told him, I said, listen, if you go on the Gravitron, I'll give you $10.
Wow.
I was like, I give you $10 if you'll go on the Gravitron.
I'll do it. Is the deal still on the table?
I'm not going to spoil the story.
I'll grab Dave and spin in a circle real fast if I can have 5.
So he's noping out. Nope, not doing it. That's fine. We won't even pressure him. But we pressured him a little, but not like guilted him, you know, just like.
Just $10 worth.
$10 with the pressure.
Yeah.
That's what I ended with. I was like, look, I'm not going to say anything else about it. No one's going to say anything else about it. You're not being put on the spot here. You don't have to do anything you don't want to do. But if you ride that ride with my guarantee that you're going to be fine, I'll give you $10 when you get off of it. And that was the last we talked about it for a bit. So we go around. So then we get on this one ride. He sees this one called the Tornado, which is like the one that has the swings on it. It's like the center point goes around, but it's got like these pods that hang off, and you sit on it. It's almost like teacups that spin around, and you can spin the teacups. It's a pretty, I mean, compared to the Gravitron, I would have been scared of that one. But he saw it and wanted to ride it. So they rode it. I stayed off because I didn't buy a bracelet. I bought some tickets for me and Tanya, mainly for Tanya to use, and then Gage and his girlfriend and Cohen all had bracelets where you could ride everything as much as you want. Right. So they get on it, spin around doing their thing. I'm watching them the whole time. Cohen gets off. It's like, that was awesome. He loved it. He had such a good time on this thing. And so then they go and ride some more. And finally, he gets it in his head that, well, all right, yep, we're going to do the Gravitron. So he went on the Gravitron, and I paid him $10. So the deal's off, number one.
First come, first serve. I get it.
Yeah, it is. Number two, he had a really good time on it, and he was really like puffed in the chest about how brave and courageous he was for overcoming a fear, and then it turned out he had a really good time. So it was expensive, you know. That fair is expensive. A ripoff.
You did 3 bracelets. So that's $60 right there. Right? Are they still $20 a bracelet?
Yes, they are.
Yeah.
I did not pay for I bought Cohen's bracelet and I bought the tickets that we used.
That's way better.
But I didn't ride anything.
Yeah.
Because I'm like
scared. I get it.
I'm terrified. No,
no one's giving you $10. I wouldn't ride either.
Terrified of being out $20.
Exactly. It's the same rides they've had since I was a kid. I've ridden them all multiple times, right? So anyway, Cohen wanted to play a game. And I'm like, fuck. All right. So the games, you can't use tickets for the games. You got to pay cash. So we go up to one. He decides he wants to do the one where you throw darts at balloons. And we're like, all right. So he goes and up to the thing. And I got to tell you, if it wasn't for him, I'd have gotten thrown out of that place over this because
Was Joe Dirt running the
it was no, because Joe Dirt wasn't a cheating piece of shit carny. And so we go up. It's $5 for 3 darts and $10 for 5 darts or something. I don't know what it was. I don't remember. It was some rip-off pricing.
Of course, naturally.
And I was like, all right, whatever. I'll pay for it. And Cohen was going to do it. I was like, I just want to pay. I'll give him a $10 game. All right. So I give the fucking carny a $20 bill. And that motherfucker pulls a wad of cash out of his pocket, but guess what? It's all in 20s. He's like, oh, I don't have any change, but I tell you what, I'll give all of y'all throws with the darts for 20. And I was like, man, what are you doing to me? I was like, I know what you're doing, and I don't want $20 worth of darts. I want 10.
Yeah.
Well, man, I can't. I tell you, we're gonna do that. We're gonna do that. He's and Cohen's like, yay.
Great.
Cohen's like, yay. So he lays all these darts down, and I'm like, you motherfucker. I didn't say it, but I gave him the look. I'm like, if my grandson wasn't here, I'd be fucking throwing a fit. I would be in your fucking grill right now getting my $20 back, you thief. What I wanted to say, and again, I kept my cool because of Cohen. I did not want to set a bad example for him. I was like, I know what you're doing. I did say, I know what you did before I left. I know what you did. What he did was he pulled the wad of cash out of his left pocket that was all 20s.
Sure.
And the wad of 1s and 5s were in his other fucking pocket.
Yeah, there's no way he had only 20s.
Everyone's only
giving him
paid 20s.
10s.
Yeah,
I
they
mean,
love
like,
those darts.
They love this game. They love it so much, and they love the deal that I give them with letting everyone throw a dart.
Uh-huh.
Oh, I was fucking pissed. But I wasn't going to show my ass in front of this guy.
Look at it this way.
In front of Cohen.
He pulled out all those 20s. That means that he ran that grift on that many people.
Yeah, don't feel that bad.
Well, first of all, he grifted me because he knew I was going to make a scene.
Yeah, sure, and that's probably how he grifted everybody.
I knew better.
They all have kids.
Yeah, 40-year-olds aren't going up like, oh, yeah, 3 darts, $10. Is that a good deal? All right, bye. I lost. See ya.
I knew better than to hand him that money before I saw the change. I should have said, can you break a 20?
Yeah.
And then seen the money before. I wasn't thinking about that. So
You're not dealing with carnies on the regular.
No,
it makes sense.
No, but I know what he did, and I hope he listens to this show because you know who you are.
I don't.
Fucking hate you.
He doesn't deserve it.
So that was the only sort of negative experience we had at the carnival or at the fair, whatever you want to call it. Otherwise, it was fun, and Cohen had a really good time. So honestly, it was I probably spent $100 total, but I don't care. He had
expensive
fun.
to go.
He had fun, and that's all I wanted. And Gage and them all had fun. Gage went on the thing that goes way up in the air and then falls and spins around. He had a panic attack on that ride years ago, but after Cohen got off the Gravitron, Cohen had made, I didn't know this, but Cohen had made a deal with Gage that if I go on the Gravitron, you have to go on that. And Gage said, deal. But he didn't think Cohen was really going to do it, but Cohen did it. And so Gage said, well, if Cohen can be brave, then I need to be brave too. And he got on it and he rode it and they had a good time. So it was a fun experience, even though we had that one kind of bad moment. But otherwise, it was all right.
I thought kudos for you being a good grandpa, because I was just thinking, if that'd been me and my dad in that exact same scenario, I'd be like, I want to play that game. What my dad would have said to me, you just made $10, didn't you?
Yeah.
So, but you still went over there and paid for it.
You want that?
My dad would be like, yeah, you paid this $10.
That's a good point, yeah.
We set the ground rule when we went no games. Like that was because I just want to get in front of that, because no games, and we found the cheap place to get water, and that's when we're thirsty, we're going there and getting that water.
Was the Lions Club of Livingston County or something all the way over by like the toilets?
Yep. Yes, it was.
That we found that too. Their water was like $2 cheaper than it was $3. But it was like everywhere else was $5 and $6 for water. So we did find that one too. They got hamburgers, cheeseburgers, everything you want, and it's like half.
Yeah.
The cost of everyone else's food.
It's the spot.
I hate that there weren't people lined up around the block.
Yeah, no one
because
really,
it was a local thing
running
it, and I wish they had more people aware of it so that people weren't buying the shit.
They put them away. You know what I mean? Because
over
it's
by
like
the shitter. No one wants to buy their hamburger and smell the outhouses at the same time. I would.
I'm not saying I want that, but it's worth the price difference.
Yeah.
It's not like I'm going to eat it there.
I'll buy it here and walk over there for $2.
Excuse me, can I eat this next to the latrine?
You take it and walk through, and every time you pass one of those rip-off food booths, you just take a big old savory bite and wink at them.
How you liking your shit burger, mister?
$4 right here. But yeah, I mean, I go into it every time. It's been a while, but when I go with the full knowledge that I may as well just take the money and kiss it goodbye. Something's going to cost this, or I'm going to lose it, or something's going to happen.
Yeah.
So it was not like it's like I always tell people when you go to the casino, take whatever money you're going to take. As soon as if you lose that money, leave.
Yeah, just assume it's gone.
Don't go to the ATM. Yeah, just assume that money is lost forever, and then you'll have a better time. But it was fine. It was great. We had a good time, and like I said, all I cared about was Cohen had fun. So that's been my week, among other things, but I'm not going to get into those things. I had a doctor's appointment.
I got one coming up.
It was just for blood work. I'll get into it, I guess.
Is it okay?
Yeah, no, it's fine. It's fine.
Okay. No, I'm not going to say, but it was a doctor's appointment. Are you okay? I'm talking about it.
Yeah, and there's a funny story. Oh, and I'm got 6 months to live. But there's a funny story. No, I'm teasing. I'm perfectly fine, I guess. I had the actual doctor's appointment.
Fine, we'll do True Lies, Ian, okay?
Too late. I went to get blood work, and my doctor's office has recently moved to a new location, which is just down the street. They were in the hospital, in the office building in the hospital. They moved out of there into a new location just down the street on the main strip in Lower Town. Well, not Lower Town, but near my house. And so I go, I have an 8:30 appointment. I show up about 8:15 to get my blood drawn. Usually it takes 5 minutes, if that, and that includes the wait.
That's awesome.
There's rarely anyone in there.
Yeah.
It's 2 or 3 people tops, but she gets you in, gets you out, and you're done, right? So I sit, there's like 10 people in the lobby. It's like, shit. So I wait and I wait and I wait. People keep going and going and going. And eventually it's getting to be almost 10 minutes past my appointment time. And I actually had some shit I needed to get done at work. So I was going to have to dip out. I was going to be like, look, y'all, I got to go. Not your fault. I get it. You fall behind. No big deal, but whatever.
You just squeeze some out at the counter. There you go.
Here,
That work?
Bite my finger real hard and just drip blood on the counter.
Put some Band-Aids in an envelope.
Yeah.
Mail to him.
But I had so as I was about to do this, a guy walks up behind. I'm sitting right next to the counter. The guy walks up behind me and he stands at the counter. He goes, "Excuse me, could you?" Talking to the woman behind the counter. He goes, "Excuse me, could you see what the holdup is here? I've been here since 8 o'clock, and or he's like, I've been here since 10 after 8, and everybody's in here has been going in front of me, but my appointment was at 8, and I need to see if you can go ahead and have someone get me back there." And the lady looks at him and she goes, "Well, sir, we're getting all the people that are sitting in the lobby because they actually showed up on time for their appointments." And so policy is that if you're more than 5 or 10 minutes late for a lab work, you just have to wait until we can get you in. He's like, "Well, yeah, I don't think that's not right. I got to go. I'm late for work. I got stuff to do today. he was a real big self-important thing, and he's like, why don't you just go on back there and ask her if she can work me in real quick? And she's like, all right, I'll go check. She goes to the back, at which point I think she probably just stood behind the door, maybe counted to 20, and then came back out to the front. She's like, I'm sorry, sir, we can't get you in just yet. There's 5 or 6 more people ahead of you. Again, they were here for their appointments on time, so we have to do it. And by the way, everyone's running a little behind because you were late. And he's like, well, I wouldn't have been late if I had known that your office had moved. Because it just recently happened. Mm-hmm. But I don't mean like last week, though. It's been there for 6 months. But he's like, I was up on the 4th floor of the hospital and I didn't even know. And I had to come all the way back down and come over here. And that's why I was late. And she's like, well, sir, we can either reschedule your appointment or you can wait and we can try to get you in here in a little bit. So anyway, at that moment, the door opens and they call me. And so I stood up, turned to the lady behind the counter, winked at her, and strutted my way on back. Make a big show of it, right? So I sit down in the chair. She puts the needle in my arm. She's pumping the blood out, whatever. And there's windows in this office. So I look, and the guy that was complaining is fucking walking past the windows on his cell phone, just, gesticulating and being all fucking huffy about, storming through the parking lot. You could just tell he's pissed, right? I look at her, and I'm like, look, for what it's worth, I happen to know for a fact that that guy got the same 2 emails, 2 text messages, and at least 1 voicemail reminding me that the office had moved, and he just wasn't paying attention. And then she like pulls the needle out of my arm, puts the thing on there, and is like, that guy has been here twice. To this office. She said he's lying through his teeth. He was late because he's entitled. She said he's late because he's an entitled prick, and he always wants this special treatment. And every time he's late and he didn't get his way, he storms off. And I said she said they came back and asked me, could I work him in? And I said, yeah, but I'm not going to. And I was like, well, thanks for not working him in.
Yeah.
And she's like, well, that's just what happens when you're an entitled prick. Treat the people that interact with you, that work for the places that you go, with respect, and show up on time for your appointments.
That's hard to do. The first one's easy. The second one's harder. I'm usually in there like at the time, It's like, all right, I'm supposed to get in there. You got that paper? Fill that paper out real quick.
My doctor now has this thing where you can like pre-register online.
Oh, that's rad.
Everything. You can like even prepay for your copay if you need to.
That's nice too, yeah.
So you can just basically don't have to fill out the paperwork or anything. Yeah. And that's what I had done for this, was just checked in already. But yeah, you could be 1 or 2 minutes late. That's acceptable. That's understandable. There's things that are beyond your control. And the lady that did the blood work, she was like, and even if he were telling the truth about going to the old office, it's not like we're across town. We're literally, I can see that office from here. She's like looking at the hospital. She's like, I can see it from here. It's not like he had to drive 30 minutes to get here. So anyway, that's all I had in lieu of, summarizing television shows and movies that I've watched, because I didn't do anything this week, entertainment wise.
I watched some things, not a lot. I'm caught up with the current season of Always Sunny, which that feels good. I like that show.
Oh God,
it's like in its 48th season.
Yeah, it's still funny though.
Yeah,
yeah, 48th season is the funniest.
No, it's a great show. I never did get, after about season 6, I just fell off. It wasn't for any reason other than I just forgot to watch it once, which means I forgot to watch it again ever. It's a great show.
Yeah, I love it. And then I watched, this was actually a while ago, I just forgot to mention it. I Think You Should Leave with Tim Robinson.
I've been wanting to watch it. I see clips
Man,
on
it's so
TikTok
good.
all the time.
Is this a comedian?
It's a show it's a sketch comedy show that's on Netflix, and yes, he's a comedian.
He was on SNL for a minute.
Yeah, and I had watched the first season when it first came out and really liked it, and then like completely forgot about it. And then Chocto sent me a message. He's like, "Have you seen this?" And I was like, "Oh yeah, I saw the first season, and then forgot about it, and then." When I looked, I was like, oh, there's 2 seasons to watch. And then I watched those 2 seasons in like 2 days. It's really good. It's really good. There are some things in there that are like, that I'm going to remember for a long time. I want to I really want to get into the details, but I also, a lot of the comedy like involves surprise, and a lot of it involves like cringe humor as well. So, I mean, if you don't like that, if that's not your thing, you're not going to like it. Lots of awkward.
I think I'm out. Yeah.
You might be out.
I'm
you might not like it. Lots of awkward situations. Like, that's pretty much its bread and butter. But there are some that are just like super, super memorable. And, if any of those words that I said seem like they would be appealing to you, then check it out. Because I
remember Coffin Droppers from like the first
yeah,
season.
yeah, yeah. That's great. And there's plenty of like that kind of humor where it's like a commercial for something, but it's like it breaks the fourth wall and then it kind of like breaks it again.
Well, I see all over TikTok the skit. The pay it forward in the drive.
Yes.
All over the place.
Yeah.
99 tacos, 99 sodas, 99 fries.
He drives around. Yeah. And I love how that one ends because like the guy who pulled up in front of him like starts confronting him, and the sketch just ends where it's like, because Tim's in his car and the guy's just yelling at him and he's trying to go, but the car won't go because he's trying to drive over like one of those parking lot barricades, and the guy's just yelling at him, and Tim just looks up at him and goes, "Oh yeah, I can run," and he gets out of his car and runs down the street, and the sketch ends. That's the only one that I'll spoil. Man, it's
all. I mean, you open up TikTok, you're gonna see Tim Robinson, that skit, or he's a sound, and I've seen what is it that they do? It's like, did you fucking now? Did you? Do you? That sound is all over the place. So, yeah.
There's one.
The up talk.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know what you're talking about.
There's
did you though? Did you
Really? Get a little higher.
Pig with a Nixon mask is like, that's all I'm gonna say. It doesn't spoil anything really. It's just like one of the funniest fucking sketches that I've ever seen recently. That sentence didn't make sense, but it's one of those where it's like, I really appreciate the way that the sketches are ordered in that show, because like it's done in a way where it's like, because I was thinking about,
it's like Mr. Show where they're kind of cohesive and roll into each other.
not really, but it's more of like a pacing thing, because it's like I was thinking, man, this sketch is like the funniest fucking sketch I've ever seen, but if I were to just take it by itself and send it to somebody, they might be like, oh yeah, that's funny. But I think Coffin Droppers is the same way, where it's like you watch so many of these and the show's like 15 minutes long. So, I mean, it's real short, it's real compact. And kind of what happens is you watch these sketches in like short sequential order, and it's like, I think there's something to that, because like when one of them, they're all funny, but like you kind of meet that like baseline, and then there's one or two that's just like a fucking like home run, and because it's so compacted in the way that it's paced, it like heightens that. And I think that Pig with a Nixon mask was like, that was like one of those where it's like, I can't send this to anybody because I feel like they need the like build up to it, and like, that's all part of it. But yeah, I think it's a great show. I think if you like that kind of humor, then I think you'll like it a lot. It's kind of dark too, and it's got some morbid bits, and it's like, so all those things combined, it's like, yeah, it's nice.
Good deal.
And I saw Kyle Kinane in St. Louis
Shit.
this weekend with Dennis.
Shit, that's awesome. God, I love Kyle Kinane.
Yeah,
Man.
it was a great show. And I had some good Thai food. It was a good day. It was a good Saturday. It was worth the 6 hour, easily worth the 6 hour round trip. It was the day before Father's Day. So when I called my dad and he's like, "Yeah, have a good weekend." I was talking. He's like, "Man, you drove 6 hours in one day?" I was like, "Yeah, but it didn't really feel like it. It felt really nice." Because like the whole drive there, it's like something to look forward to. And then the whole drive back, just like, yeah, that was nice. But yeah, it was a good show for sure. It kind of makes up for me deciding to not see Jerry Seinfeld in Vegas a little bit. So it's nice to get like a little bit of a stand-up hit. Yeah.
That's awesome. That's really awesome.
Yeah, it was a good show. And that's kind of it. Played some Diablo 4, still doing that Necromancer hardcore.
Got my PC
Still
working.
alive.
Still alive for now, like level 35-ish. So, but I'm going to have to take a break because Final Fantasy 16 came out today. I bought it on lunch and was like, I guess I'll play this sometime. Maybe tomorrow, maybe.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm looking forward to getting back into that. So by the time I finish that, I'll probably have forgotten how to play Diablo 4 and then like log in and immediately die and start over. But whatever.
Yeah.
That's just how it goes, I guess.
So I had something sort of weird happen. So I got on LinkedIn, and
Saw you on there.
Yeah.
We're first tier connections.
First tier connection, baby.
I know.
So I've just been getting into that, trying to establish more connections, do all the business type stuff. And
Zerg rush that.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Well, because I noticed like applying for jobs on there is like super easy. I'm happy where I'm at. I'm not looking for a job, but like they're everywhere, and it's like, hey, you'd be good for this remote job that pays $150,000. Okay. Apply. And it's like an easy apply that's like 2 clicks, and it's like
It's always depressing.
It's like, all right, why not?
I'm with you, but it's always depressing for me because when I find one of those like that, it's like, see how you compare to 961 applicants.
Oh, I don't do that.
And it's like, I don't do it either because you got to pay to do it. But
It's
just
like
seeing,
$40 a month
but just
for
like
that shit.
seeing that number is like, they're not fucking calling me. Are you kidding me? Almost 1,000 goddamn applicants, and it's
Yeah.
like, but hey, that's just me.
Yeah. No, I get it. So I was just like,
Might as well try.
shit. It's like, yeah, why not? Somebody
Sure.
calls me back. Why not?
Sure.
And then finally someone did and sent me a message. It was a company called Agency Elevation because I matched for an operations manager.
Okay.
I was like, okay, cool. I got an email from their HR. It's like, we saw this. We like your application. Are you interested in proceeding with like a screening and then an interview? Okay, sure. Why not? So then they send me a screening. Like they do that at work too, like a questionnaire, short essay, answer question sort of screening tool. Okay, cool. So I do that. I send it off. He's like, okay, thanks. The hiring board, it meets on Monday. I'll take this then. I'll get back to you. Okay, cool. So then on Monday, the board approved this. So you're hired. Go ahead and get us this information, and we'll get your offer letter. It pays $60 an hour, and then $45 out for training. It's all remote. You can work when you want. Send us this information. We'll get your offer letter. I was like, this seems kind of
What
there's
information are they asking for?
There's no just name, address, and phone number. I was like, well, you can find that on the internet. But it was just like I thought there was gonna be an interview. Like, why would they hire me for this position? There's nothing else. There's no like. I'm not filling out a background screening. I'm not doing any of this. So I was like, that's weird. I sent it to Melissa. She's like, yeah, that's weird. And it's like digital marketing. So the only digital marketer I know is Choctopus. So I sent it to him, and he just goes, LMAO. It's like, yeah. He's like, they just hired you without, red flag. It's like, okay, so I emailed that guy back, and I was like, I do have a few questions about the position. Can we do like a face-to-face Zoom sometime? But I go ahead and email the other email he told me to email with my basic information so I get the offer letter. So that guy, another guy, tells me, we'll send a check to your house. We need you to set up your mobile office. We need you to get a MacBook with these specs. And he asked me to send, here's your offer letter, fill it out, include a picture of your photo ID with it when you send it back. Mm-mm. So then I was like, can we have a face-to-face Zoom? And let me answer some questions. That was like 4 days ago. I haven't heard back from either one of them.
So when do you start?
He's already hired.
Yeah, I'm already hired. I started. Just waiting for
waiting for that check to roll in.
Yeah, you had me at MacBook. I'm in. Let's do it.
I was like, is this some weird scam where
I'll apply too,
they
and then
send
we
me
can just work
a
from
shitty
here.
MacBook? It's like, all right, you owe us $10,000.
Yeah, what is the angle?
I don't know.
I mean, is it
gotta be something
fishing for
weird.
information?
Maybe they're pumping up the numbers. Maybe their agency's pumping up their numbers to say we've hired over 30,000 people this year alone, and we're so they can legally say they have hired, but maybe they're not.
Because I thought about
when they ask you
should
for
I
your
call the
social
company and
security
be like,
number,
hey, yeah, but say I'm not doing that.
Uh-uh.
So, but I thought about I found the actual agencies. Should I call and say I want to talk about a job I got and just and just see?
Yeah. Do you want to
Show
call him
them the
right now? Do you want to call him right now on the show, right this minute?
Did they send you the offer letter? Did you say you got the offer
Yeah, I
letter?
got the offer letter.
Fucking take it to them. Show it. This is an offer letter I have that says what they were willing to hire me at, and I'm still waiting to hear back about it. That's true. You're waiting to hear back about it.
Let the scam work for you.
And they're like, well, if you want to work there, you should go work there.
Well, we feel bad, so I guess we'll hire you anyway for that amount.
Now you ought to get back to them and be like, yo, I quit my job. When am I going to get paid?
I look both of the people who emailed me up on LinkedIn. I cannot find them.
They're not on LinkedIn.
David Cohen and Edward Ginger. Can't find them on LinkedIn. Can't find them affiliated with the agency.
Fucking
And
gingers.
the ad was on LinkedIn.
Yeah, because I got it from.
Seems weird. Well, I'm glad you told this story because I was also excited by the prospect of because I'm hit on LinkedIn a lot with job stuff, and it's like, wow, it's hard to believe there are so many people hiring. So maybe
they're not.
Maybe they're not.
So yeah, I just thought it was weird, and then it's like, oh well, I never heard back from them. So oh well.
It's only been 4 days.
I'm happy with my job, but that's funny. So yeah, otherwise work has been really busy. So I'm glad we got the game that we got this week. So I didn't have to spend much time on it at all.
We're at almost an hour. Do you want to stop and have a little break and then start talking about the game?
Sure, I'm good with that.
Or did you want to do anything else? I mean,
do you want to do a draft?
Just depends on how much time we want to spend.
Okay, I'm gonna throw this out on the table.
Do we want to take more calls?
Yes, I was gonna
we're
say
going to take calls later.
if we do a draft, I don't want to do calls, but if we skip the draft, let's do calls.
Let's
do that.
skip the draft and
We
do
did such a
calls.
good draft last week. Let's do more calls.
I don't think we can. I think last week's draft is a tough act to follow.
Let's let it simmer for a little bit. Yeah.
And last week we did 10, which technically counts as 2, which means we're still on our draft.
Yeah, go listen to last week's draft again.
Yeah.
I'll just cut it and paste it in.
Just the last 5.
Yeah, I'll just take it and paste it in from last week. No one
I
will
love
notice.
it. Just do it 4 times.
That'll be our bumper.
No one listens to this fucking show. No one will notice. They'll be like,
bumper
"Oh, they're
breaks.
doing game shows again." That's weird. They're picking the same ones. Well, they are
pretty
good shows.
They might
They're good
listen when they
shows.
look down and like 7 hours. This podcast is 7 hours long. What the fuck?
Yeah, I went ahead and grabbed the last 3 drafts and just stuck them together. Our draft montage. We could do a draft montage. I'll see if I can make that happen. No, I'm not going to do that.
I'm not going to stop you, but also I would not want to do that if I were you.
Here's what we do with this episode. We, Mohawk and Headphone Jack, only every time Ian is interrupted, we replay the entire game show draft.
14 hours. We'll be right back after these messages.
Hello, this call is officially a final notice from IRS, Internal Revenue Service. The reason of this call is to inform you that IRS is filing a lawsuit on your name because you had tried to do a fraud with the IRS Internal Revenue Service, and we are taking a legal action, and we are issuing an arrest warrant on your name. To get more information regarding this case file, just call us back on our department number.
270-883-2555.
I will repeat it.
270-883-2555.
Thank you.
The game talk.
The game talk now.
Game talk.
That was part 1A. Now it's game talk.
Could be a stinger.
I could cut it into a stinger.
Could be a stinger.
I'll cut it into a stinger. Saves another little few minutes
There
of
we go.
recording of today. Yeah, that'll be our stinger.
Mohawk and Headphone Jack.
Mohawk.
Headphone Jack.
Jack.
Mode blah, 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 blah.
Not to be confused with Mohawk and Kangaroo Jack.
That would have been better.
I don't know. Maybe. Maybe not. I've never seen Kangaroo Jack, but I saw that commercial, and that was bad.
Kangaroo Jack's got to be better than Mohawk and Headphone Jack, right?
It probably is.
Would you agree that most things are probably better than Mohawk and Headphone Jack?
I don't know. I'm
Not most.
pretty
That's not fair.
pessimistic, so I think
What?
in
There's
general,
always something worse.
there are a lot of things worse than Mohawk and Headphone Jack, like a root canal or
At least a root canal accomplishes something.
I mean, that's true. That is a good point.
So the box art. What did you guys think about the box art?
It was radical.
It's 90s af.
90s horrific.
It's radical.
So a movie. If you were to compare your experience with this game to a movie, what would it be?
I didn't have a movie this time. One thing I did want to say about the box art. Besides being garish and ugly, I thought it was very interesting. There's a little badge on the front that says that you get a collector's phone card inside.
I didn't notice that.
With 5 free minutes of tips and tricks. So you can call and get 5 minutes of pre-recorded tips and tricks from Mohawk and Headphone
Oh, God,
Jack.
I wish I would have noticed that.
'Cause you know-
God, you're fucking right,
You
man.
know that they would have answered, the recording would have been, yo, dude.
It's Mohawk.
It's Mohawk here with some cool and awesome radical tips to get through our game.
Take your fucking Dramamine. See ya.
That's your tip. Now I'm going to play cool rock music for the next 4 minutes and 10 seconds. Yeah, this is the most 90s thing I've ever seen.
We gotta. I know that we're ready to get rolling, but we gotta fucking talk about. We gotta talk about
What
Mohawk.
is this thing?
We gotta talk about Mohawk on the box art.
He's a clay fighter reject.
He does remind me of Clay Fighter. He reminds me of like
Is
a
it grown up-
Cabbage Patch Kid.
A Chia Pet and
baby.
a Cabbage Patch doll. Just
Yeah,
Matched.
clay fighter with a baby
Yeah.
raised by a
head.
trash can kid or whatever.
Raised by like a professional
garbage pail
fisherman.
kid.
Garbage pail kid.
Oh my
Thank
God,
you.
he looks like a fucking garbage pail kid. That is the perfect. That's perfect.
Oh, he's yellow too, by the way. He's
Yeah.
like Simpsons yellow.
Except for his sweet, sweet mohawk,
What's
which is
the
bright green.
Mega Man 1 boss that just breaks his body apart and sends it to the other part of the screen?
I don't know.
He's like the jacked version of that boss.
You gotta ask the other one. I don't know.
The one who likes coconut. Okay.
He's wearing a Walkman. He's got his wraparound shades on. We forgot to mention he's nude.
Totally.
He's not wearing any clothes
completely nude.
at all.
He's genital free as far.
He's Dr. Manhattan.
I bet he
but
can
yellow.
manifest those genitals.
You don't know that from the box art.
Not from the box
his
art.
knee
no.
is covering
it's
where
covering his crotch
where his
area.
Ken doll area is.
His Ken doll
Smooth,
area.
like
I'm
a
gonna
Ken
remember
doll.
that. Where did they touch you? My Ken doll area.
He's reaching out for a newfangled compact disc.
Now tell me more about these compact discs.
It's like a small record
Okay.
that you can put
So
Sounds
so
on.
you just put a needle on it and it plays.
a laser.
Whoa! Wait a minute.
Lasers are involved.
Hold the phone.
Yeah.
Lasers are not real. That you've been watching some crazy sci-fi movie.
I've seen laser discs. They're way bigger than that.
Man, I wanted to get into laser discs in like the worst
too.
possible way when I was in high school, but
Me
it was like,
too.
I don't have any money.
We went to my parents.
$4,000.
My parents took me to we went to a department store in Nashville around Christmas time when I was a little kid, and they had a laser disc player and a big projection screen TV on display, and they were playing Saturday Night
Wars?
Fever. Saturday Night Fever, and I thought that was a cool. And they showed it how you stick the big box cartridge thing in there, and yeah, I think it was like $7,000.
Yeah, they were
for
real
that setup.
expensive.
and
My
that's
school
in
had
the
one, my elementary
late
school.
70s. That's a lot of money.
That is a lot. There's a lot of money.
Yeah, it translates like what, $20,000 now.
Yeah, that's a lot. I wanted it for Star Wars and only for Star Wars
Same.
because
Yeah,
it was
no.
like the best way to watch the original trilogy
It
was,
really was.
on those, and it might still be.
Well, and when I first saw this thing, there
That's
were
crazy
like,
to think about, but yeah, you're probably right.
yeah, there were like 10 movies on Laserdisc.
Yeah,
when I
it wasn't-
when I first found out about
Yeah.
it, and my dad was like, "Well, how many movies are there?" And well, there's not many right yet, but Dad's like,
It's the future, though. They'll all be on there one day.
"No, really, how many?" Well, right now we have a catalog of about 20 movies that you can choose from. 20 movies? No, man.
I watched 20
Yeah.
movies yesterday.
That's where I get it. Yeah, so Laserdisc.
I saw the Angry Video Game Nerd has a Laserdisc collection that he shows up in his video game store or whatever. That's pretty.
That is
cool.
a neat thing to collect.
If I had video game nerd money, I probably would also have a laser disc and a laser disc collection, but I don't. So,
All right, so
Plex server for me.
the real best
so I
way
make
to watch
bootleg
the original
Laserdiscs.
trilogy, absolutely free. Okay, seriously though, tell me more about these compact discs.
One day you'll be able to put these compact discs in your car. Can you
Shut
imagine
the
that?
front door?
And then you can be like, I want to hear ants marching. Number 3.
what?
And it just plays
just
it.
like that.
You don't
so
have
you
to
gotta
fast. No, forget about
Wait
it.
a minute. Now I know you're fucking lying.
I'm not.
Oh
It's
my god.
real and it's the future.
Future is now, baby.
And it actually is still a pretty good way to get good uncompressed audio.
It is. It's the last way to get a raw audio. But
I don't fuck with it, but I know that people do,
so do you think Mohawk is running around with a compact disc or cassette player?
You know what? It looks like a
'Cause it
cassette
looks like a
player to
fucking
me.
cassette player.
So why is he collecting compact discs? That's a great question.
He's gonna sell them all to buy more cassettes.
Well, Sinesh Drunk said he was getting all the discarded AOL.
the
CDs.
AOL
Right.
So
online
it's an environmental
CDs,
thing.
Yes, yes. He's saving the environment one CD at a time.
maybe his portable Discman doesn't have skip protection, so he has to use his Walkman when he's doing gravity defying platforming that is found in this video.
I felt like it was probably a skip protection thing too, because you can barely walk down the sidewalk with one of those things and it not skip, much less all the crazy antics Mohawk gets up to in this game.
Which is a lot more than just riding the school bus, where mine would skip constantly.
Yeah. Hold it very still.
Uh-huh.
I need to keep it balanced.
Making like a shock system out of my elbow and forearm.
One of those Sony Steadicam type deals going.
Yeah, or like a spider mic mount.
Yeah, what are you doing? Listening to a CD. What does it look like?
Well, if you were to compare your experiences to a movie, What would it be?
Well, I didn't do a movie. I couldn't
Or a
come
celebrity,
up.
or
I
a
couldn't
TV
come up with
show,
it. I said Saved by the Bell. And I only said that because that's
Mohawk
like
is
the
trash.
next 90s thing I can think of, anything that any movie or TV show that features lots of pastel colored triangles, or, really hip, cool references to pop culture, I guess. I don't know. This game skeeved me the fuck out. And just because it was so unnecessary. And it just reminded me of a lot of the early 90s. Again, it's almost like not nearly in a worse way than like Dinosity. How the cover of that, the kid's wearing his Walkman and his sunglasses and his dinosaur pal is chilling behind him. And I don't know, stuff like that. At least that had something I could relate to, but this game didn't.
Now, Ian, what if I told you this game has to be an early Super Nintendo release, right?
Oh, yeah. It couldn't be larger
no
than,
way.
say, I don't know, 93.
There's no way, right? What if I told you that this game came out in 1996?
Ooh.
What year did the PlayStation come out? And these motherfuckers at
What?
Black
a
Pearl are like,
waste.
I know what we'll do.
What a waste.
Damn.
Someone used their last wish.
Yeah, this was a Make-A-Wish game.
It was a monkey's paw wish game.
Yes. I want the most unique, fresh, hip, and cool side-scrolling platformer ever. You're in luck.
Man, when you said like that feeling that this game gives
just
you,
gross.
it is gross, isn't it? It's gross.
It is. It's so
gross.
exploitative and so tropey. And when it's not tropey, it's awful. Like it's awful in a like mechanical way. Like in the way that the design is terrible, the colors are terrible, the whole concept of this game was just I cannot believe this was a real game.
It does look like a game that someone would be playing in a movie, right?
Yes.
That's like for like a couple seconds.
Or in Saved by they were playing it in like fucking Gleaming the Cube or fucking Pump Up the Volume, some other Christian Slater movie. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, God, it does seem like that.
We need a fake game for this movie fast. I have an idea.
The net? No, we've already got that one. She doesn't play video games in the net. Mozart's Ghost.
Mozart's Ghost.
I chose Dumbo, but that one scene from Dumbo where like
He's drunk.
yeah,
Tripping.
yeah,
Yeah, he's drunk.
The drunk
Yes.
Dumbo nightmare scene that I always skipped as a kid. 'Cause
Heffalumps and
I
woozles.
fucking hated it. Yeah.
Yeah, man. That was my jam. That scene was my
I
jam as a
hated it.
I
kid.
hated it too.
Because I was like, man, drugs are gonna be awesome someday.
That was one of the tracks on that record, that Disney record I was talking about it when we talked about.
Oh, yeah.
was the not that scene, but the scene where the opening happy music. But I always watch Dumbo. When we get to that scene, I would be like, ugh, I don't like this.
I also like, we talked about this on the show. I also like Dumbo Circus, that like trippy ass weird Disney show where it was live action and they would wear like the big scary fucking masks.
Yep. When we go up
I
to
don't know,
Scott Pilgrim, I want Lem and Kenny's code names to be Heffalumps and Woozles.
Lumps and woozles on the boards.
What about you?
I chose, this is, okay, I know that there is a game that already exists called Lawnmower Man, but I chose Lawnmower Man.
I almost picked Lawnmower
Really?
Man. Yes.
It's because Lawnmower Man is also like a skeevy ass movie.
It really is.
And it gives off the same like cutting edge tech vibes that this game delivers, like in not only the Mode 7 nauseating spinning that it's constantly doing, but also the fact that it's constantly reminding you that compact discs are a thing. Because you collect compact discs in this game like they're rings in Sonic the Hedgehog.
Yeah, so you want to cut to just an overview. So the game is a Sonic-ish spoof.
Yes.
And the big crux of the issue is a la Jim Powers, the background fucking moves and inverts and fucks up every time you turn around and move. That makes it nauseatingly.
It's awful.
It's awful.
I had such a busy week when I played this game. I was like, thank God this is unplayable garbage.
Yeah, I did the same thing. I maybe played through half of the first stage before I gave up because
just immediate. I was like, nope.
I had already had a fucking headache when I was trying to play this game.
Not a good place to start.
Not a good place to start. And then it starts spinning around. It gave me like Descent vibes. I used to get sick playing Descent.
Yeah, but Descent's like actually like
Descent
there's some merit to Descent.
No, Descent was a great game. I just would get like sick to my stomach
I get
playing it. I don't know why, because I've never had any other game do that, but Descent got me. And this kind of gave me that same feeling. And I think it also had to do with like my inherent panic. What the fuck am I doing here? Like, you try not to die. And I guess I just felt like I had so little control over everything.
Well, yeah, because you like what would happen to me. I played this too much. It was only for the watch the YouTube video, please, because I played this game for an hour for that.
Holy
so. So please, if you're listening to this,
done,
pause
sir.
it and then log into YouTube, boop, 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 and go TADPOG, and then click this and be like, "Thank you, Dane," and click and watch it.
Yeah.
So you really do need to see what we're talking about.
It's hard to describe.
We're gonna do our best.
Yeah.
But you know what makes it worse? That it's so nausea-inducing, but it's not like a right to left, get through it as fast as possible Sonic game.
No.
You have to fucking explore the shit out of everything.
It's all about that.
You are
It's all about
you
that.
get the full length of the dildo if you're going to experience this game. You are getting fucked to completion, not just like a little. The tip doesn't go in. You got to take the whole thing.
I was confused by it because it's like, I guess the gates that show up that you can leave only appear after you've collected enough CDs, but you don't know how many CDs that is. You also don't know where that gate is going to show up.
Right.
So it is like when I was playing this, it was really just wandering around.
Right.
Like it really was just like wandering around and like trying to like jump at ceilings and be like, do I stick to this ceiling? And no, I don't. And then I'm like looking for arrows and shit, and there are plenty of fucking those.
There's arrows everywhere.
Goddamn fucking thing.
It felt like it was the road to Oz.
Yeah,
and the
right?
Scarecrow was just pointing in every direction. Like you can wander around and never find your fucking way out.
It's like Wacky Land.
Yeah.
It's like Wacky Land meets
That's a
Cool
good-
World.
yeah.
Like that's what this feels like.
Well, then
You don't. Everything's fucked up, and you really don't know what you're supposed to do or where you're going.
well, and I'd say 30% of the shit that looks like you can jump on it, you can't.
you can't.
It's just background shit, but they don't distinguish it from the foreground shit. So you go to jump on a little brick. Oh, that's a background brick. You can't jump on this brick.
Oh my, yeah. There's so much shit in the background that looks like foreground business, and it ain't foreground business.
Foreground business is next month.
We don't talk about foreground business until
Yes. Well, apparently they didn't talk about foreground business or background business when they developed this game because I couldn't tell. Most of the time, I couldn't tell. the
or
difference.
general good business
or
of
any
kind.
business.
And it's okay. So there's also since we're just doing bad things, right? I mean, we're just doing bad things.
Yeah.
I got one good thing to say about it. I'll say that for the end of the show, I guess, but it ain't much. So like, it's called Mohawk and Headphone Jack, and the reason it's called that is because the second player plays as Headphone Jack. So when I start thinking about how the fuck this is already a clusterfuck, like the screen's already spinning
you
around.
getting two
every time.
people
How do you get two people?
You take turns, right?
you take turns, and I'm like, well, that's fucking bullshit. Why is it even?
Why have it be
why
a
have it?
2-player? Yeah, God.
Ugh.
Because they knew they couldn't fucking get it to work with 2 people on the screen.
The only way I can think they could have done it, because and Flopsy, forgive me, this game gives me a lot of different vibes. I'm so glad you mentioned God, what was it? Powers.
Jim Powers.
Jim Powers, thank you. I'm stuck. I just want to say Austin Powers so goddamn bad.
Yeah, baby.
Much better.
I went to Austin Powers and Max Powers. Like, that's not it. So help me, please. It reminded me of
Max
that.
Headroom? No, I'm going the other way.
It reminded me of On the Ball. I don't know if you remember
Oh,
On the
God,
Ball,
On the
where you're
Ball.
the ball going to the maze, and you instead of
rotate
rotating the
around
ball,
you.
you rotate the entire map.
Yeah.
And it reminded me of Brandish, that overhead dungeon crawler, where instead of rotating your character, you're rotating the map. This was like, man, there are some developers who really fucking bought into Mode 7,
Yeah.
like real bad. They were like, this will be fucking rad.
Mode 7 development. We're all about shoulda, not coulda.
Yeah, they needed Ian Malcolm on this motherfucker to like shut this the fuck down. But like, it's so it gives me all those vibes of those games that I don't like. But then I'm also like, that kind of reminds me of Uniracers a little bit. And I like Uniracers just fine.
Unirace is, I think it's because you can stay. You spend enough time not getting fucked up in Uniracers.
For sure. And the only reason I took that really super painful long walk to Uniracers was that the only thing I could think of they could do to make it 2 players simultaneous is to do it split screen horizontal like they did in Uniracers. And we need that ROM hack, because that will straight fucking, that'll like really put people in the hospital.
That's a vomit party.
Like it is a vomit
It
party.
is a fucking vomit party right there. I could not even imagine.
2 screens rotating like that.
Ugh. Yeah, there was nothing. I hated the design of the character. I hated the color scheme.
Why is he
I think
naked?
that he's bright yellow. Everything's dungeony looking and weird. The fact that the game rotates around the character and that it's like you get going so fast.
With directions that you face, like everything
Yeah.
flips and flops. Ugh.
And you get going so fast. And the SNES drunk even said this might have been a halfway decent platformer if they'd left out that rotating thing.
I think it would have been better.
Because it was fast and it was pretty responsive. It was just impossible to move around because the damn level would literally rotate out from underneath you.
My problem was I never knew where I was.
Right.
Like, because there are no like good
A
landmarks.
spinning mini
or
map
anything
is
like
what
that.
we needed. A spinning mini map.
Some or just good landmarks. Because like in that first level, they're like the landmark is, well, there's a loop de loop. Have you seen that recently? No. Well, then I don't know where the fuck you are. Me neither. There needs to be something like what do you do when you call the tip line and you're like, I don't know where I am, and they're like, okay, describe where you are. Well, there's a lot of blinking red lights in the background, and I'm on grass.
Good. Just stare at them. It'll be fine.
I don't want to burn all 5 of my minutes.
Can you hold?
Oh, yes, we know exactly what to tell you. Please hold.
I need to ask my supervisor. Where
Please
you are.
hold. Beep.
Continue this call for $12.99.
They kind of try to warn you a little bit with the title screen. What the fuck is up with that?
So the title screen, the background is this tie-dye fever dream that is constantly in motion. There's no like ground. There's no vanishing point. There's no perspective. It's just essentially a multicolored tie-dye
in the
wallpaper.
Garden of Eden.
Yes. I mean, it's just they leaned into this shit so hard and it fell so fucking flat.
It's kind
like,
of that,
instantly.
that title screen. It's kind of a neat effect, but it's one of those. It's one of those where it's like when desktop publishing became like a thing at the beginning. Everyone's like, "Drop shadows," and it's just like blah, 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 putting on everything. That's what this felt like. Where it's like
blinking gifs on MySpace.com.
Yeah, the mail's going in the mailbox, and the construction guy. This site is under construction.
So they're like just askew from one another. You got the tone in your mailbox. Beep, mail, motherfucker.
I got a counter at the bottom.
Yes,
this game needs a counter at the bottom of it.
This site has been visited 8,000 times by me. Yeah, that's what it looked like. Someone just vomited all over their keyboard.
It's fucking wild, dude. It's fucking wild. And I don't mean to shit on DOS games, but like I grew up on DOS games that my dad would bring home from work, and those were not very good games. I'm not saying there weren't good games on DOS, but like there's a shitload of shovelware in the early 90s and that's what this reminded me of.
Just crank these things out. Yeah.
Clone it. Mario, clone it. Everything. Just like, yes, let's make a shittier, inferior product. And people are stealing it anyway. Might as well, we'll sell a few copies.
Yeah.
So that's what it reminded me of.
Yeah, the title, Tyler, you're going to ask me. You're going to ask me at some point, probably in the near future, where did this game lose you?
Yep.
At the title screen. I mean, immediately.
It's pretty bad.
I could tell you, I'll go ahead and get my very loosely interpreted good things out of the way.
Can we do three together collectively? Can we do three?
Like say them at the same time.
No. Just between the three of us, can we come up with three good things?
I came up with
beloved Adam.
I came up with three good things.
Okay, then we're fucking covered. You got us.
You take it, Daddy.
I think it had decent platforming elements. I agreed with SNES Drunk that had this game not been a slave to its Mode 7 spinning, this could have been at least playable, right?
Yeah.
So I'm going to say that's a good thing. The other good thing was I didn't hate the music, and it was neat that you could like switch tracks at any time to all the different music that they had on the game, which was kind of a lot. I thought there was a lot of music on here for a Super Nintendo game.
Agreed.
And it sounded okay. It was neat tunes. I wasn't anywhere near the music of Hook.
No.
Which if you didn't listen to last week's episode, you need to at least go back and listen to the transition between segments. Because I used that music I was talking about from the winter level of Hook.
Yeah.
It's just fucking grooving, man. I listened to it like 10 times because it was so good. This music, not that good, but still okay.
It's better than the rest of the game would lead you to believe that it would be.
True. And if this game had been better, that would have only added to it and made it a good game potentially. So I think the music was fine, and I liked it pretty well.
It is interesting that I know you mentioned that you could change the music in the stage. I didn't. Is there a way that you can do that?
Yeah,
manually.
When you pause, or
I didn't notice that.
I think you either hit pause or select. I can't remember which one. It brings down a little screen, and then you can like toggle between the different tracks that's playing at that moment.
That is cool. I do like that. I noticed that when you collect, there are these mega CDs that do look like laser discs.
Those are different music tracks.
And when you get them, it would change the music of the stage.
That adds to your music tracks, which then lets you switch to it later. If you like that tune, you can switch back to it. So I thought that was the music and the system to interact with it was neat.
Yeah.
And then the last thing I put is the last thing I could pull out of my ass, which was a password system. It does have a password system, which some games that I feel like don't. So it's good that they put that in there because Lord knows I don't want to play any of those levels again. You know, I don't have to go back to the beginning and play that first level if I get to level 2, 3, 4, whatever it is. I'm glad I can put in a password to skip and get up to it.
They're short passwords too.
Yeah,
that's always nice as opposed to like the enter 48 characters. You know,
yeah,
it's like 6 characters. So
the horse can stay in the back, cryogenically frozen. I'm not gonna have to drag it out and beat it. Feel like the pixels were too big.
Yeah, sprites pretty small.
There were some decent little animations. I thought it had some neat, like when you die, you split into little pieces your arms and head fall off or something. I mean, it's, again, they put some attention to some detail in here. It just fucking choked on the design of the game.
I left out a game earlier when I was comparing it to other Super Nintendo games. There's if you press like the X button, there's a screen clear where you like come apart. Mohawk, this naked banana man, comes apart, and it was like
all his
balls 3D.
All
like,
his
was the
body
only thing I
parts
could think
bounce
of.
off the walls and shit. Right?
Yeah, because he turns into all these little like Dippin' Dots, and then those Dippin' Dots explode on the screen. And all I could think of was open wide for Chunky. That's some balls. That's some balls 3D shit right there.
What was the little floating amoeba thing up in the left-hand corner that was always there? Was that like a life meter or something?
No, those you're talking about those.
Act like you don't know what he's talking about.
Oh, what are you talking about?
The
Ian?
amoeba thing, Ian.
Amoeba
What?
thing?
I mean, you guys see you guys see the clown standing over in the corner eating from the dead horse, right? You see that. He's got those amoebas on him too.
He's fucking the shirt monster.
I thought that's who that was.
He's barely recognizable at this point. It's all stiff and
Who, the clown or the horse?
both. Those three things, man. My movie should have been Critters because that's what that's
Those
what
do look
that's
like
what they
critters,
reminded me
yes.
of. It's Critters.
Oh, thank God he did see them.
Critters was a movie that, man, I fucking loved as a kid. As an adult, I can't. I fall asleep every time. I'm like,
it's
get to the
boring.
Critters. It takes too long to get to the Critters.
It does
It's like,
take
this is
too
not
long.
a serious movie. Just show me the fucking Critters.
I hadn't, believe it or not, that's one of those like about 2 or 3 years ago, maybe 4 or 5 years ago, I hadn't seen Critters before.
Oh man,
I never got to
God,
see that
I love those
one.
fucking movies as a kid.
And Tanya's like, what? So she's immediately, we start watching the Critters movies. And I was like you, I was like, when is this going to get good? And then it did.
Second movie, I think, is really the answer.
It was fine. I thought it was hilarious.
Yeah,
but
totally.
Yeah, there was a lot leading into it.
God. Critters gave me that. Critters gave me that Tremors high that I could, that I could no longer get from Tremors. I was like, I need Tremors, but like a koosh ball form.
Fucking Tremors. God.
Band name.
Could do it.
Yeah, versus the world.
I could do a podcast on Tremors.
You and Josh,
6 of them.
I bet
Josh's dad.
Oh fuck. Yeah.
There's 6.
And by proxy, Josh's mom, who's forced to watch Trevor.
There
I
are
would
6
listen to-
Tremors movies. I am not
Renee?
kidding.
Tremor's
I
on.
would listen to the fuck out of that podcast.
That's how we would open the show.
That's the name of the podcast.
Renee
Tremors is on.
Trademark, copyright TADPOG Studios. God, that is fucking good.
But those 3 critters indicate how many times you can go balls 3D mode.
Oh, okay.
I'm gonna
okay.
text it to Josh right now. Just
Okay. Because I thought that was a weird little.
It is.
I
weird.
knew it was there to keep track of something. I just couldn't figure out what it
You
was
would
keeping track of.
Think maybe lives or
I
something
thought
like
at
that.
first it was lives,
Yeah.
but then I died and they didn't reduce or slow down
Right.
or do anything. So I didn't know what was going on.
Did you know there are power ups in this game? They are really they are hard to miss.
I saw one where your feet turn into a tire, like
Yeah.
a race car tire, and you can like go even faster, kind of like Sonic.
and he already goes fast.
Yeah, he already goes fast, but Sonic gets the when he bumps into something and he goes pew. It's like that, except you can kind of better control which way you're going, I guess.
He can also turn into a ball, a la Sonic.
Right, that's how you kill enemies.
Yeah.
By turning into a ball while you're moving and then bumping into them, which I thought was a tough mechanic to use. It was like you got to press down while you're going, and it didn't flow to me the way that like Sonic does.
Yeah, and even like Sonic, it feels weird to me because, man, I honestly think the best thing they did in Sonic games is Sonic 2. They introduced that spin dash where it's like you can get up to speed, like press down and spin. You can get up to speed like that. You don't have to like worry about your momentum and all that. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like Mohawk could have benefited from that mechanic.
Among others, but yeah,
They're saving it for Mohawk and Headphone Jack too.
You might be right.
Yeah.
But at no point does Sonic turn into Boss 3D and kill every enemy on the screen. I got to a boss. That was weird. That was a thing I didn't know was in this game.
I'm impressed.
I didn't beat it.
Was it the octopus
but I
that's
got
on the
to it.
box art?
No, I wished, because that guy looked cool. This looked like a, you know that like meme of like the spider Thomas the Train?
Mm-hmm.
It looked like that, but instead of Thomas the Train's face, it had like a Walmart smiley face
Ooh.
on it.
Oh, it's a chthonic horror that just comes out.
Pretty much. And it fires like rockets and stuff. And like what sucks about it is like when you're, because you have to jump at him and him in ball form, but like he fires like heat-seeking rockets at you, and those hurt you regardless of whether or not you're in ball form or not. It's kind of one of those where it's like, I'm sure if I sat down and like dedicated some time to it, it'd be like, no problem. But the problem is that the game is bad, and therefore I don't want to do it. You know what I mean?
You're not invested.
Right, not invested at all. It's just kind of like, oh, okay, I died. I guess I don't know, go this way this time.
Right.
Get lost in another area of this game.
Well, let's see what else we did. Good things, bad things.
I got one good thing. No worries. And it's just that I always appreciate it when a game tries to fucking do something different. And this game 100% absolutely tried to do something different while simultaneously trying to be Sonic the Hedgehog. But like the whole like you jump on to like a low ceiling and then the game like rotates. They were trying something there.
Yeah.
It sucked, but they were like, they tried it and they fucking went for it.
Yeah.
Like full bore. They were just like,
Yeah, they were all in. They're like, fuck it.
this is the game.
We're
like,
committing.
Yeah. And I always appreciate that. Rarely does it work out, but
And I bet at the time,
it's nice.
the devs thought, this is great.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Because they probably spent countless hours playing the fucking thing and testing it and doing all the things. And by that point, you're used to it. So then you can play it and it seems great in theory. And you give it to someone else. Like, what the fuck? What the fuck? What the fuck? No, I'm good. I'm going to go play
Don't need to play test it. Just put it out. We're good.
Yeah.
There's no time to play test it. It's 1996. If we play test this motherfucker,
The window's closing.
yeah,
It's like you're throwing a CD through a closing window.
we got Y2K coming up. We gotta get this game out.
The PlayStation with its internal clock will fail at Y2K. SNES, get it on SNES.
Those don't have clocks.
They honestly would have maybe been better to wait to release this game until like 2019, because it like
You could see it as a mobile game where you have to like turn your phone or something, you know?
yeah, a little gyroscopic
Yeah.
action.
Little Nintendo Switch.
So it was
gyro
20 years
action.
ahead of its time.
Absolutely, I think it's fair to say.
Yeah.
That's a good thing.
Yep.
It's way ahead of its time.
Well, buy, rent, or birthday.
I would have rented this probably.
I
I was a
probably
dumb
would've rented
kid,
it
and
too.
I
Yeah.
like, and yeah, I probably would have rented
And
it.
it's got the design on the box is designed for a 12-year-old kid.
Would have
to
gotten me at the time.
be interested.
I didn't know any
this?
better.
Yeah.
Yep.
There's a CD on here.
Mm-hmm. Does that mean there's a CD in the game? And then I'd probably think about that on the ride home, where it's like, how did they put a CD in here? How does that work?
Man,
I'd be
free
thinking-
5-minute phone call.
I'd be thinking about when should I use my free 5-minute phone call? I hope a girl answers.
Miss
She's got
Mohawk.
big tits.
It actually is a sex line. They just double ass the tip line for Mohawk and Headphone Jack.
This is Monica. How can I help you? I was calling about headphone jack or Mohawk and headphone. Oh, sorry. Yes, let me get.
No, use that voice. Go back.
I thought this was my other phone. Sorry.
Where would you put it in the grand scope of all Super Nintendo games thus far?
Bottom of the gray, middle. I don't want to put it in the bottom 100 because I don't I'm not educated enough to be able to say that this is.
I might put it in the bottom 100 just because I found it so unplayable.
I mean, it probably
not the bottom 10,
yeah,
but the bottom 100.
It's either for me. It's either in the bottom 100 or in the middle, the very close middle to that part of the scale.
Yeah,
it's not a buy.
It's not as bad as street hockey. I'm standing by that statement.
Not at all.
That
is still champion of shit.
That's the worst. Yeah, that might be like the worst video game that I've
that's
played.
King shit. That's King shit of fuck Mountain still. Yeah,
for sure. But I could see it being bottom 100. If it's not bottom 100, it's close. And the only reason I say that is because when I was playing this, I was thinking I'd rather be playing Home Improvement. Like that is, and I don't like that game at all.
Yeah.
But like, it reminded me of Home Improvement in a way where also in Home Improvement, I'm just wandering around this level. Like, is this a game? Like
dinosaurs?
But at least, I gotta say, at least Home Improvement was based on something that you could relate to.
That is true.
In a way, it could be a bad game, but have a friendly enough IPO or whatever. You know what I mean? Like just whatever its branding is. But this had the disadvantage of being just a made up character. We just made it up.
And it very much was like,
unless there's some like Japanese manga from the 90s that based on Mohawk and Headphone Jack.
I might read that if that were true, just to check it out.
Yeah, there I would be interested
because you know it's fucked up.
It's got to be.
Where did Stick go? That's what I want to know.
Turns out Chainsaw Man's really derivative of Mohawk and Headphone Jack.
Man, it'd be great if next week I come back. I'm like, I'm wearing Mohawk and Headphone Jack, like shirts and shit.
Hey, if I find a Mohawk and Headphone Jack shirt out in the wild, I'm fucking buying it.
Yeah, you bet your ass. Although, like, I say that, but also, like, when I saw that that extra large Jimi Hendrix shirt that I wanted to get my dad, and it was like $70.
Yeah, no, I mean like on a clearance rack for $3.
15. I'm good. I'll go as high as 15 on 15. Headphone jack.
I mean, I only gave $6 for the one I'm wearing.
Nice. That's a nice shirt.
Thanks.
Oh shit. See what else? Achievements? You guys have any achievements for this?
Oh, I probably should have done that.
Me too.
I can come up with. I got this bonus track.
I procrastinated and I got so busy at work today. I got about halfway through my to-do list for the show and forgot. And I got here and I was like, oh, I don't have any achievements.
I might be able to one up that. I did achievements. Forgot I did them. They're that good.
You stared at the start screen just a little too long, didn't you?
I fucking wish, man.
Forgot about it.
God, I wish.
Nice.
First achievement. Mohawk and Headphone Jack Galaxy. These are primo achievements, okay? Primo Chivos, I call them. Mohawk and Headphone Jack Galaxy. In order to unlock Mohawk and Headphone Jack Galaxy, find the tiny planet to run on. I swear to God, Mario Galaxy stole this from Headphone.
You warp to that bonus level immediately after starting the game. Yeah,
and you're like on this tiny Earth, and you're like Mario size in Mario Galaxy, and you're running on this like little tiny planet.
Right. You're right. I forgot about that.
Second achievement, last achievement. Hey, did you like those CDs? CDs nuts! In order to unlock CDs nuts, collect one of the mega CDs that changes the music on the stage.
Right.
I've got one. AOL, more like SOL.
I like that.
You can't find enough of the AOL CDs to make it to the next level and quit. Crack open Flopsy. See what Flopsy say about this game?
Sure. What do you before we do that, I like doing the price first. Because I feel like the availability kind of like gives something away. Yep. But who knows with a fucking game like this? Who knows? Right. Yeah. How much do you think this game goes for? If you were to buy Mohawk and Headphone Jack loose, what are you paying?
I'd never
heard of this.
It's never entered. When you read the title last week, I was like, did you read that right? Because I've never. This has never crossed my path.
I've heard of it, but only because of how fucking
Because you're
weird
a
it
collector
is.
too.
And yeah.
Yeah. I'm gonna say it's gotta be pretty uncommon at least. I'm gonna say this one's probably $28.
$28. What do you think, Tyler?
$50.
$50. Actual price of Mohawk and headphone jack for the Super Nintendo, loose on average, according to PriceCharting.com, at the time of this recording, is $31.61. Ian, you were very, very close.
Almost split the difference, actually.
So I bought Hook at the end of the last episode. I was like,
Nice.
yeah, about $30 seems like a good, seems like a decent buy for Hook. Do you guys? What do you feel about $31.61 for Mohawk and headphone jacks?
It depends. It depends. I don't think it's priced high enough to be worth. You know what I mean? If it were like super rare and whatnot, and you could find it for that, I would say yeah, maybe. But I feel like in this climate, based on what you've said in the past, it's just high because it's high and not because it has any real value. I don't know that I would. I don't think it would be a. I would not buy it
I don't plan on buying it.
for $30. I wouldn't. I'd maybe give 10
I am
if
curious.
I was a collector.
What I should look on price charting is like, how much was this game 15 years ago?
Yeah, because
This is
it's
probably like a $2
$2
kind of like
$3,
dealio. Yeah. So, what do you think Flopsy has to say? What do you think the availability of this game is? What do you think the star rating is? I haven't seen this one, so I can play.
This could go either way.
Uh-huh.
I think Flopsy is either going to give it really low rating because someone actually realized what a shit show this game was, or they're going to be kissing THQ and Black Pearl's ass
No
and
way.
saying a mediocre, 2 to 3 star
Gargle those
rating.
Black pearls. Oh, blop,
And because of its innovative use of Mode 7, this really stands out. I could see it going that way depending on who reviewed it.
I think it's too late, though. I think it's
I
too late for
agree.
them to play that
Yeah,
card.
that's a good point.
So if they do play that card, fuck them.
Fuck them, indeed. My guess, maybe I'm going to base this on what I hope it is and not what I think it is. 1 star, uncommon.
Okay. 1 star, uncommon. What do you think, Tyler?
I think they'll look for good in it.
Yeah, they tend to.
I
and
think
that's
they'll try really hard.
it's a Flopsy trait.
Yes.
Yeah. Two stars uncommon.
2 stars, uncommon. I'm gonna go 1.5 stars.
Oh, boy.
I think
So-
Tyler.
Semi uncommon.
Well, I don't think this is. Man, I kind of.
So let me
It's
ask
so
you this.
late.
Let me ask you this.
It's
As
late
a
is the only reason I say it.
as a collector, does the game itself, as far as its content, quality, whatever, have anything to do with its price?
It
or
does.
is it just rarity?
It's not just rarity. The quality of the game also comes into play because I mean it's like Super Metroid, plenty of copies. It's Chrono Trigger,
But
plenty of
but
copies.
great.
But it's like because it's a fan favorite,
Yeah.
no one wants to sell it.
Gotcha.
So the quality dictates it in that regard, where it's like, I really like this game. This is a really good game. I'm not going to sell it. So it's one of those games that people kind of hold on to.
Gotcha.
I don't really think that Mohawk and Headphone Jack is in that category, which makes me think that I think this game might be very uncommon or
I was gonna
maybe
go
rare.
with rare or very uncommon as well, but then I thought, God, the price.
I
See,
know.
I just thought knowing that about the game itself being a contributor to its value, I would say I'm still going to go uncommon, but I would say it's probably a little higher, closer to rare than that. But I just, the price is what's got me thinking.
it's also super fickle. There's that
Yeah,
too. You
yeah.
know what I mean? Where it's
The
just like
market
the
and
market,
everything
and it
else.
could be like, the number of copies of Mohawk and Headphone Jack that sold. Like, it could be that too, where it's like, oh, this last time it sold for $31, but the time before that it was $8, and that was 4 years ago. You know what I mean?
Yes.
There's some of that comes into play too, where it's just like there's so many factors. I'm gonna say very uncommon, 1.5 stars.
Okay.
It might. I'm curious if this is rare. In fact,
Crack. Every week, we're still getting them cracks. Love me a good crack, Tyler.
Oh, I know. I always said that about you.
That's what I want on my gravestone when my blood work comes back with bad news.
All right. According to Ultimate Flopsy, aka the Ultimate Nintendo Guide to the SNES Library 1991 through 1998 by Pat Contry, courtesy of Monster Mold Mike and a mysterious benefactor, Mohawk and Headphone Jack. Availability, very uncommon.
Okay.
Rating, buckle up.
God.
No.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
2.5 stars.
Jesus.
I want to know why.
Yep,
So I'm
please.
going to read
Yeah.
from the summary.
Tyler, you said
Listeners wanna
2
know.
stars.
Tyler was
stars.
closest without
closer.
going over. Reflections. This is from KY. I feel like we've heard from KY before. I remember because that's the abbreviation of our state.
Yep.
Did you know our
And the
governor
lube.
wrote this review?
Andy Bashir.
I like the guy, but I disagree with him on this. They say I simultaneously love and hate this game.
Okay.
I don't get the love, but whatever. Go
I'm
ahead.
attracted by its innovation,
Okay.
and puzzle-like elements, but completely thrown off by trying to plan a route on a map when the positioning constantly changes. In italics, why don't you tell me what you want instead of making me try to guess? Interrobang. This game won't appeal to everyone, and those prone to motion sickness should perhaps avoid it altogether.
Yep.
But if you're up for a unique experience, this title is worth a shot. KY, according to the Ultimate Nintendo Guide to the SNES Library 1998 by Pat
I don't know.
Contry.
I can offer you a lot of unique experiences too, KY.
Well, at the very
All of them
least,
good.
at the very least, they give us something to talk about each week.
That's true. Seems too high to me.
Gave it too many
Yeah.
stars.
Seems too high to me.
Gave it 1.5 stars too many.
Yeah, I mean, 2.5 is... 2 is the max that I would go. I think 2 is like the limit. We could
You're
do...
really trying to be really generous.
Yes. We could do a Price is Right style game with Flopsy. If we really wanted to, we could do a Price is Right style game.
I want the mountain. We gotta do something with the mountain climber.
Absolutely. Critters going up a mountain. Tyler,
Yes, Dave.
I had a lot of fun talking
Yeah,
about
yeah.
this Mohawk game.
Don't blame
Hell
us.
yeah.
Hell yeah.
Don't blame us. The game was bad.
We missed the opportunity to be like, this dude's Mohawk's greener than a frog pussy.
Yeah. He just should have been called Headphone Jack. That's a catchier name.
It is.
I get that he has a mohawk. but-
Right. But fuck it.
Yeah.
Right?
I can't get over the. You nailed it with the Garbage Pail Kids thing, man. He literally looks. I think there is a Garbage Pail Kid that has a green mohawk.
Oh, there's got to be at least one, right?
At least one.
Yeah.
Sorry, go ahead. Sorry.
What's the name of the Muppet who's with Beaker? He's a yellow fucker, right? That sounded racist. I didn't mean it that way.
Beaker, that guy's a professor.
Professor, right? But Beaker's
think he's
the dick-looking
Beaker's
guy.
Bunsen, Beaker and
Bunsen.
Bunsen, nice.
But Mohawk reminds me kind of
Like
of
a
Bunsen.
built Bunsen.
Built, yeah, jacked Bunsen.
Took Bunsen's head and put it on a clay fighter, and didn't let him wear his. He didn't let him wear his little glasses. He had to wear his big,
His going to
super, going bass fishing glasses.
hitting up the NASCAR race,
Yeah.
wraparounds.
Hell yeah.
Hell
Oh,
yeah.
yeah. He got fused with Beaker, and that's what came out.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Underneath the table, Beaker is like massively cut. It's just his head that's funny, but that's his body under there.
Tyler, if you were to give this game a beard that sums up how you feel about it, what kind of beard would it be?
A beard covered in the vomit that you just vomited out from your motion sickness.
From the Vomitron.
The Vomitron, from the Gravitron.
Uh-huh.
The last time I got seriously sick on a ride was the Gravitron, my senior year of high school. Josh and I both.
Your vomit may still be in that
Probably.
Gravitron.
I remember Josh and I, we went with a bunch of girls and we were trying to show out, so we're doing like setups and shit in the Gravitron, and we got out. Yeah, anything that we thought it was might have been cool was just like us, just like, oh my god.
The guy that sits in the
there
middle
for 20 minutes.
I know the guy that sits in the middle was watching you two, going, "Yep, here we go."
Like I was trying to
Gonna
stand
do
up.
another one.
Like
Let me
it
get the
was-
hose.
Because I got to hose off the guy across from the one that's doing the sit-ups, because the vomit is gonna stay here, and the other guy's gonna spin into it.
So Henry, I was trying to convince Henry to get on the Gravitron couple years back, and we were in line. We made it to the frontish of the line, ready to go. He was all on board. We literally saw someone throw up.
Oh,
and Henry
not
was
going
like,
in there.
I don't think so. I was like, there are other rides. I think we're done.
That's awesome. That one never bothered me.
Tyler, if you give this game a pair of glasses, sums up how you feel about it. What kind of glasses would it be?
The glasses that are floating in the toilet from you violently vomiting so hard into it that they flew off of your face.
That's yeah.
So now you've got to dig your vomit-covered glasses out of the
Vomit toilet
toilet
glasses.
and clean them.
Versus the world.
That is
Oh, there we go.
That's it, right?
Yeah.
You guys want to consult with the randomizer, see what we're gonna do next?
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Are we
do.
ready to do True Lies? Or are we gonna give that
Give me another week.
Another week.
Another week.
Cool.
So let's grab this batter up peripheral, use it wild and crazy kid style, say the prayer we all love to say. Whammies, whammies, whammies. Stop.
581.
Have we played it?
Almost 5.
Yes. Would you still like to know what it is?
Yeah.
Is it in the R's?
Very close. It's in the S's.
Super.
Oh, yep. It does start with that.
Always at least going to
You
get
sound
some
like
of
Tim
it.
Robinson. You said that. Oh, with that.
We've narrowed it down.
Super
R-type.
It's a beloved game.
Mario Brothers.
First two.
World.
Three. You got three of the words. It is Super Mario World 2 Yoshi's Island. Is that one we have to redo?
Let me see. That's a good question.
Because if we need to redo it, I don't mind redoing that one.
So far, I'm not seeing it. Let's see.
Do we not have a list of the ones that need to be redone?
We do somewhere.
Did we do somewhere? It's just they were removed a minute ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it is actually, because I can't find it on our archives.
You want to go ahead and redo it?
Yeah, I think it'd be a fun. Well, I will want to play that game. I don't know how much time I'm going to have.
Okay.
Let's spin again.
All right. Let's spin again.
Okay. Whammies. Stop.
279.
The H's.
The K's.
Ooh.
You're like one
Getting
letter
there.
off. You're
Getting
really
close.
you're zoning it in.
Have we played it?
Yes.
Klingon Simulator.
King of Dragons Simulator.
Oh, okay.
That was a good game.
I actually played that one.
Yeah.
We've done that one since I've been a host.
Yeah. We
Okay.
played that one online together
Might be
too.
the first time that ever happened. We recorded that one remotely, and I got super drunk. If
You're
you want
right.
to hear me acting like an ass, go back and listen to King of Dragons.
I don't remember you acting like an ass, but I was
Remember
also
you being
probably
drunk, but I act like an
inebriated.
I was acting like an ass.
So get the batter up peripheral again.
You were off that.
Stop.
213.
The D's.
The G's.
New one?
New one.
Uh-oh.
You're not going to like it.
Is it a golf game?
No.
Is it
You're close-ish.
Mohawk and Headphone?
Oh, fuck, man. That would be rad, wouldn't it? It'd be a fun coincidence.
Yeah.
Gridiron.
Oh, you're close still. GP1 Part 2. Which implies there's a GP1 Part 1.
It's a Grand Prix.
Yeah, that is a
It's a
racing
racing
game.
Oh.
That's
Okay.
perfect for you, though.
Yeah, that is. You're right. Let's do both parts.
Yeah, of course. Absolutely. I'm a
That sounds
madman.
Yeah, perfect. Love it. Great.
Knock both of them out.
GP 1 and 2.
1 and 2.
GP1 Part 1, GP1 Part 2. Ridiculous naming convention.
Game. Racing game's so good, we had to give it 2 parts.
Uh-huh.
It was too big to get into 1 part.
Oh, yeah. Love it when you talk like that.
You guys want to take a break and take some calls?
Sure.
Yeah.
Who asked you to go out of town? The stupid young one or the married one?
The married one.
That's what I thought. Don't go, you hear me? And you know what? You're not listening to me because I see you going. I see you going. I'm just telling you, I'm trying to help you to avoid the heartache. Don't go blindly through life. Let me use the power of the tarot to show you the way. Call me now for your free reading.
Cole.
270-883-2555.
All right. Community Corner.
Community Corner.
Community Corner.
We'll jump right in.
Let's do it. We're taking calls, right?
Good evening, TADPOG.
Good evening.
It's your VR boy, Brew Pounder.
Hey.
So I've been drinking some beers, by myself, hanging out.
Not Brew Pounder.
Why would
It's right in
nothing? Nothing indicates that you would like beer in this scenario.
Not
This is-
pussy fucker.
I just been fucking some pussies.
pounding some, if you will.
A mouse in the house. It's been a whole ordeal. It's been wild. It died behind my bathroom. It was crazy. I got it. I got that mouse. Got it out. It's fine. It's dead. So got it all sealed up where it got it at. But anyways, been playing VR, doing the whole thing. P2 was delayed. That's sad.
I just want to point out that the transcription of this, when he's talking about getting the mouse, it says, I got it. I got that mouse. Got it out. It's fine. It's Thursday. Just another Thursday at Brew Pounder's
Another
house.
mouse getting Thursday.
You got Thursday, mouse.
Sad. But I'm sitting here and I'm making a pizza, drinking some beer, watching a movie in big screen beta, my Quest 2.
Is it on Laserdisc?
I'm sitting here, I'm like,
Good question.
if you were a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle, what pizza do you think they love the most? Like, is like Raphael I'm sure they all prefer New York style pizza, but like, Donatello's gotta be like a Chicago, he's probably like a California kitchen style.
Oh, he's talking about style.
Michelangelo's probably like, he kind of probably like that pineapple tombstone. But like, what do you guys think? Like, what type of pizza do the individual turtles really just like, that's their jam? It's like they only get one pizza to order. What are they fighting over? Tooth and nail or whatever turtles got. Weird, crazy reptile tongue and turtle shell. What are they fighting over? What's their pizza of choice? I love you guys. God, I can't wait to see you in VR. God, VR is so good. I love you guys.
Do you like VR?
Take care.
I don't think he does.
I don't think so either. Like pounding some brews.
Pounding
though.
some brews and catching mice.
Yep.
I don't know enough about the Ninja Turtles. I never was really into them that much, so I don't know enough about them to really make the call here.
Boy, I loved them.
I feel like they would all like the same style of pizza, though.
I love them turts, man.
Yeah.
I do think that Donatello, I think Brew Pounder's onto something. I feel like Donatello's probably the contrarian in the group.
Like
Outside,
thin crust or like...
I think he's going to be like, actually, I like the
Chicago
Italian
style.
Roma, like that, like that style of pizza where it's just like, put some olive oil on that motherfucker, Like, I think that's Donatello's jam.
Feta and olive oil, please.
Yeah. Not to say that he's like bougie or anything. I just think that he feels like that would be like that's like the historically accurate way to eat the pizza. I think Leonardo's probably like he's probably like a supreme pizza kind of guy. or a 3 or like a 3 topping, like
Free meat pizza.
Maybe he'd like
Maybe.
give you the protein for working out.
Okay, that makes sense. That does make sense. But if he's, then I don't. But then I think he would just skip pizza altogether.
Or maybe they all. I mean, if they're on an all pizza diet, maybe they all just like cheese.
Maybe.
It's all super basic.
I feel like Raphael would be the
Spicy boy.
yeah. And Leonardo definitely, like you saying cheese, like Leonardo's got to be like a 5 cheese kind of pizza guy.
Yeah.
Because that's
Just authentic.
that's what a cop would eat, right? So
Yeah.
I mean,
He wants a margarita style pizza. Give me the classic Italian.
yeah.
And I feel like Michelangelo's the one who's like, whatever. I don't give a shit. It's pizza.
Do you like penicillin on your pizza?
Yeah, no one likes penicillin.
Unless you have an infection.
It's a good question. Thanks,
Very
Bruce.
good question. Would we like to take another call?
Yes.
This one came in on tax day, April 15th, 2022.
Motherfucking
Oof.
Tyler Dave. What's up, boys?
Hey.
What's up?
Adam, you're underwater. You're in the submarine.
Calling in. Wanted to talk to you guys about
Hold on to that GameCube controller.
something that's been going on this week. I don't know if it's an age thing or what, but goddamn, I have been noticing some skin tags.
Skin tags?
tags.
Most of the time, they're small, and I can get rid of them fairly easy with some stuff I bought at the pharmacy, store, whatever. But I've had this one, and it's in a very uncomfortable spot.
The back of a Volkswagen?
And no,
The foot of the
I
bed.
don't mean the back of the Volkswagen.
Ha ha! He knew I was going to say
It's
that.
the base of my scooter.
like where the
And-
scooter meets the balls?
Like in the taint?
Well, that would be behind the balls, right?
Yeah.
What is the where the shaft meets the
The
balls?
sack.
The sack?
The-
I'm being stalked by
the-
a fucking
the-
slug.
The upper
Oh,
sack.
damn.
It's got. Did you make that live forever wish? And the slug is trying to touch you.
Dude, I have had the weirdest fucking like luck with slugs recently. Like it has been like I'm actually starting to get concerned. What is the slug demon in D&D called? I can't remember. It's like Yugglus or something like that. I think
Yeah.
I've been cursed by like a fucking like warlock or some shit because it's just fucking slugs everywhere.
Got to make a Tsunade style slug pact. They're trying to get you to.
Maybe that is what's up. There was like when we were over at Josh and Nicole's, they had like a cookout. It's where I was playing that croquet, you know, and it got late in the evening, and then these slugs just showed up on the patio. And I was like, what the fuck is with all these slugs? There's like 5 of them, which doesn't sound like a lot of slugs, but when they're slugs,
Sounds
it's
like a lot of slugs.
it's like, motherfucker, there's like 5 fucking slugs out here. And then, so like, as a joke, I was like, I'm going to lay down like what was it? It was something that we were eating. It was not a cracker because that had salt on it, but it was like a thing that we were eating, a piece of food. And over the course of our conversation, that slug ate it. It ate the food. And I thought they ate leaves and shit.
No, they'll eat anything.
But this motherfucker was eating like, I mean, it was like party food, you know?
You know what they don't eat? Salt.
Right. Yeah.
Get some salt.
No. That I'm not watching if you do.
No, I'm teasing.
Because that shit.
I wouldn't
like,
do that.
That
That's
shit.
mean as fuck.
As a kid, I did that once because I was like, oh,
Uh-huh.
salt it's just a thing that I heard. So I got some salt and poured it on the slug and then was like immediate trauma. I mean, it was
Yeah.
like, what the fuck? Because it starts smoking and it's like cooking bacon in a fucking pan. And it's
If
like,
slugs could scream, would we be so cavalier about pouring salt on them? Maybe if they screamed all the time for no apparent reason.
I thought that was trees. But
It
yeah,
applies to everything.
there's the
That's a little
slug
guy.
that was chasing me.
Little slug boy.
So at Josh and Nicole's, where I fed that fucking slug, about 30 minutes after that,
80 slugs showed up.
worse. How could it be worse than 80 slugs showing up?
81
I was gonna say
slugs?
that.
I know. Worse. How could that be?
84? How long can we do this?
I don't know. I put my hands in my pocket and I was like, "What's that?"
What?
Yeah, it was a slug in my pocket, about the size of this little motherfucker.
It is worse than 80 slugs.
Yes,
on the
it
ground.
was, and I was like, "Ah!" I made that noise, and I flung my hand like you're like flinging like stuff off of your hand, and that poor guy did not make it.
Gotta complete your transformation into a slug that walks.
Yeah, it's true. I'm gonna like go deposit this
Yes.
guy somewhere.
Yes.
Okay.
I'll be back.
Okay. Talk amongst yourselves. I'll give you a topic. I can never think of the
What pills you
topic.
taking there? Your cute little pill.
I'm
pouch.
taking a 2 Advil because I have a terrible headache. And my pill box, I found this in the house I used to live in. It has an ancient Aztec symbol on it, I think.
Nice. I think.
I don't know. This might also be cursed.
Yeah, that's a Nazi symbol.
Oh, God. What if it is? It's too pretty to be a Nazi symbol. We're talking about my pill box that has an ancient Aztec or somehow other.
Hopefully not Nazi.
No, hopefully
symbol.
not Nazi thing on it.
If that were like the Nazi eagle, it would be like a child did it. So I think that would
Yeah.
make it like at least I wouldn't say okay, but better. It's like a kid Nazi did this, not like
Hitler Youth.
like, preschool. Like he didn't know any better. He was just like, I don't know. My dad told me.
I've had this pill box for 20 some odd years. I'm not giving it up now.
No, that looks like Incan or something.
I think it's like Incan
Yeah.
or like Mexican.
Shrine of the
or
Silver
something.
Monkey.
Yeah.
I get that vibe from it. Yeah, I think it's cool, man.
Oh shit, Adam.
Oh yeah, with the scooter.
I've gotten rid of it.
Maybe we should call the part where the shaft meets the sack the slug.
The slug. I thought you were gonna say the Adam, and I was like, that's mean.
Adam has a skin tag on
I
the
don't know, I'm
slug.
sorry, I can't get this earworm out of my head of like you said the shrine of the silver monkey, the pill box of the 50-year-old man.
There's like every morning Ian has to get it. There's like a temple guardian. He's like allowed to touch them, but like not a lot, because they don't want to get sued.
The very act of putting the pills in the box makes them have the reverse effect when I take them. That's probably what's wrong with me. I need to stop using that pill box, apparently. Adam, I know your call's not done yet, but the skin tag thing is a real thing, and I think it's age because, strangely enough, I, too, have a very small skin tag on my slug.
Really?
Yes.
You guys are slug brothers.
We are. We're skin tag slug brothers. It just showed up.
Oh no!
about a
Now
year
I'm
ago.
worried.
It doesn't hurt or anything.
Well, that's good.
And it is definitely a skin tag. It's
Tyler's
not
got a
like
look on his face like he also has a skin tag on his slug.
Not on my slug.
Okay.
But I noticed I was getting some. So I looked up the cause. So a lot of them are around my neck. So I wear a collared shirt. every
Yeah, I
single
thought
day.
it was like fabric and stuff over time.
Friction can, cause them. They can also be a sign of pre-diabetes.
Oh, really?
pre-diabetes.
Yep.
Well, I've had blood work recently.
I mean, I
And
guess
I've
Ian,
had-
Ian, I know you've got a sweet dick, so
I don't know.
pre-diabetes.
I must. At least I've got a sweet dick. I don't know if I'm pre-diabetes because the last time I had blood work, nothing came up, and I've had this skin tag for probably since Adam called or before. It hasn't bothered me or gotten in the way, or it's not like anything weird. It's a little weird, just because it's there. But
I get that
I
it's
don't
weird
know.
that it's there. I've got one. It's on my thigh, and it's 100% like where my boxer briefs hit. So it's one of
Yeah,
those where it's
I
like
think
that's what it
it's like I
is.
know
Yeah.
where this came
this has
from.
got to be. I think it's kind of the crotchal area gets sweaty, especially in the summer. And,
Yeah.
I switched from boxers to boxer briefs this year because I think that was potentially some friction there. So I
Probably.
don't know. We'll see. I'm gonna
Boxers get all bunched up and stuff. I
thought
feel
about asking the doctor about it, but
I'm-
it's a fucking skin tag.
I want this gone because I've had
Yeah,
it.
'cause-
I've had it for a few years, but it's like it's annoying enough where it's like if I'm wasting 3 seconds maybe every morning thinking about it, I'm thinking about all the mornings that I've thought
Yeah.
about it, and it's like that I mean,
They make
like
a thing.
braces
It
Band-Aid
is. It's
or
like a
braces
little. You
rubber
can
band?
get a little gun that has these teeny, tiny little rubber bands in it that you put over the skin tag, and it puts a rubber band at the base, and it's like it just you leave it on there until the skin tag dries up and falls off because you're depriving it of blood or whatever. So
that's how you get rid of
that's how
them.
you get
Ball
rid of
stuff.
them. Or you can. I
Yeah.
think a dermatologist can like cut them off and cauterize. them.
Yeah, I just wanted to freeze that fucker off.
Yeah, or freeze it off. Yeah, I just don't want that done on my balls.
Yeah, that makes. But I don't know that I would want to.
But I don't know if I want to
Put
keep
like
a
a
skin
gun
tag
thing
on my
or-
balls.
right.
either. So I don't know. Like I said, it doesn't hurt or anything. It's just sometimes I'll be like, oh yeah, that's there.
Right.
So I don't know. Anyway, it was my way of saying, Adam, I get it. It's weird. Skin tags are weird.
I got it. Next time I go to the dermatologist for like a checkup, I'm gonna be like, hey, what can we do about this? Can we like zap this thing like real fast? Can you like give me a solid?
I'm gonna see if I'm gonna probably ask my doctor about it when I go next week, and be like, yo, do I need to worry about this? That's the only thing. If he says you don't have to worry about it, I probably won't fucking worry about it. But
right. You probably don't. I mean, I would think if your blood work comes back good, then
yeah, it should be fine. And I've been cutting back on a lot of things lately, so
that is really good to know though about the skin tag
good
diabetes
advice.
link. I didn't know that.
We still got like a full minute and a half of Adam.
Okay,
let's get through this call.
Yeah.
But it keeps coming back.
It goes away?
I should probably ask the doctor about it.
Yes.
But, I don't want to go to the doctor for just something like that. But it's grown back like 3 or 4 times in the same spot. And now this.
How is it going away?
Yeah,
Adam?
skin
We
tags
need
don't.
clarification.
Yeah, because that's not a thing that they typically do.
Correct.
Right?
I've had this one on my area for a year or more, and it never has gone away. It hasn't
It's just
done
there,
anything. It's
right?
just there.
Yeah.
It got to the size that it got, which is little bitty.
Which makes me worry that this is not, in fact, a skin
worry.
tag
exactly,
on Adam's slug.
Exactly. All right, here we go.
This time, it's kind of split off into 2
Uh-oh.
separate ones, but together. And it's just very disconcerting.
I can imagine.
I guess my question is, have either of you Spicy Boys ever had to deal with the skin tag
We have just answered that
in
question.
an uncomfortable position or spot?
Yes.
Just driving for work and thinking about it, figured I'd ask you to get your thoughts on it. Keep up the good work. I love you both. And hope to hear from you soon. And hope to hear this voicemail played on the show probably in mid to late 2023. I
Nailed
should
it.
have April 15th, 2022 at
Very good.
1:07 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time. So we'll see how long it takes for you two to get to this. Take care. Once again, love you both.
Thanks, Adam. 3 things.
I've heard from Adam since, so he's alive. He's good.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
My first thing was I'm very worried about Adam now because that seems like odd behavior for a skin tag.
Yeah, Adam, I'm going to give you 3 pieces of advice that I got from the Steve Martin movie, The Jerk. The Lord loves a working man. Don't trust Whitey, and see a doctor and get rid of it. Go to the doctor. If you haven't already. It's been almost over a year since you called. I hope you went to the doctor. I hope everything was fine.
Mm-hmm. It's affecting your call quality. So it's you got it.
You were in Terrified
You said
Michelle's
the
car,
best,
weren't you?
yeah.
She came and picked you up to drop you off at work.
Yeah.
From L.A. or wherever she lives, and you were recording that call in Terrified Michelle's car. I'm fairly certain. It's okay. It happens.
Yeah.
Especially when you've got something growing on your slug. The following day, we received a call from 828, April 16th, 2022 at 9:34 p.m. Central Standard Time. It goes a little something like this.
TADPOG.
Yes.
This
It's
is
the VR boy. Brew Pounder.
Hey.
Brew Pounder. I thought it was our other
Just
VR boy.
Finishing a delicious.
But say, are you just eating? You
Klondike
couldn't finish
bar.
whatever you were eating.
A Klondike bar.
Very drunk.
He is very drunk. Klondike
So,
bar.
Headphone boys.
Yeah.
Tyler and Dave,
Yes.
who
Yeah.
play old games,
Yeah. Ian's here too.
and Ian
There we go.
is
Hey.
there. What would you
I'm just
do
here.
for a
We're all just
Klondike
here, man.
bar? I love you guys so fucking much. VR is great.
I guess buy one like a
If I
fucking
say
adult.
I'd pay $2.
Can't wait to get to you. Love you guys. See you. Peace. Have a great day.
Have you
Bye.
Have you seen the Klondike bar commercial where they say, "What would you do for a Klondike?" and the one dude shaves off one of his eyebrows.
I haven't. I've seen a lot of those commercials, but I don't know that I've specifically
Shaves off
seen
an
that one.
eyebrow. I would not shave off my eyebrow for a
No,
Klondike
that's
bar.
not worth $2.
Nah. I mean, Klondikes are fine. They're not.
I like them.
They're not that great.
Yeah.
I mean, they're not like.
They're
I'm not
good.
gonna go like. I don't know. Get in a submersible and go down to see the Titanic for a Klondike bar. Or
No, they probably don't even have any down there.
$250,000 I would give. Never for a Klondike bar.
I like the polar bear on the wrapper.
I do too.
I like him.
That would have had to been a bum fights thing at some point, right? Like,
That's where they got their
Trying to get him to do
marketing
something.
campaign from. Hey man,
No.
will you go spit on these sorority girls for a Klondike bar? They should do that marketing.
Shit,
angle.
I was gonna do that anyway. And let me put down my "will work for food" sign and go handle this. All right, we got another call from beloved Adam.
Okay.
5 days after the skin tag incident.
I hope he's like, hey boys, I was just joking about that skin tag business.
Just that's my balls?
That's wild, right? Yeah.
Turns out I didn't know what I thought I had the balls, and now because there was one,
Maybe
and
that
then there was two.
Maybe that was the joke. Maybe it just went completely over
Was
my
he
head.
kidding? And I just told the world that I have a skin tag on my scrot.
gotcha,
Fuck it.
bazinga.
If that's a joke, I'm posting a picture of it on the Discord
Make it,
where I'm a moderator.
make it your avatar.
Real close
It's a
up.
close up. Yeah,
So it's like
extremely
not
close up.
immediately.
Right. It's not pornographic.
Right.
It's a medical
It's a
photograph.
medical photograph.
Also, the third thing I want to say, we are not doctors. This is not medical advice.
Oh, don't take medical advice from us at all.
We should throw that in every episode.
Oh, man,
We are not
yes.
doctors. This is not medical advice.
We are just very crass commentators. Heyo, I referred to the opening. All right, here we go.
What's up, TADPOG? It's your beloved Adam.
Hey.
Hi, Adam.
I'm just calling in about a very specific thing that has been on my mind for a while.
Is it skin,
The skin
tags?
tag.
Today I realized that I've been wrong. I will be the first to admit when I am wrong. Actually, my wife will be the first to admit when I am wrong, but I will be the second to admit when I am wrong. For a while now, I have really never understood why when either Ian needs to take a pee break or maybe a smoke break or you
Both.
guys need to take an eating break,
It's both.
you
pee
guys
and smoke.
announce that on the mic. You would say, hey, I need a break.
Yeah.
And then you guys talk about it, go on the break, and then you come back and say, we're back.
What a great
The
break.
beauty of a audio podcast is you can do whatever the heck you want to do, and we don't even know about it. You guys could stop and have a circle jerk orgy, and we not know about it. But I will let
Let me
Are
explain
you
something
spying,
to you.
Adam?
Let me
Calling us
explain.
out.
Let me explain something to you, Adam. We do that to transition between the different segments of the show. It's just sort of a mood setter. We say we're going on a break, then we come back and pick up the next segment. There's a word for it,
A composition.
which I can't. A composition. Thank you, Tyler. Which I can't think of right now, but it's just a transition.
I also just like letting you guys know sometimes where it's like, I really have to pee like bad. Can we wrap this? Like there's some things I can't communicate like inaudibly. Like I guess I could like do a pee-pee dance and be like, make faces like,
You
please.
start tugging at it. He's either horny or he has to pee.
When I was first on the show regularly, and even before that, I used to signal Tyler
Oh, right.
silently that I needed a break. And then I realized, fuck it. I'm just going to say I need a break. And then that signals that everyone else this is a good time to take a break.
Yeah.
Yeah, if I have to ask
And we're
one,
not-
it's usually me rolling my eyes at my phone and then making the double click motion.
Yeah.
Right.
But Adam has more questions.
To let you know, I will be super pissed off, and I will pull my Patreon if I ever hear that you guys do that off mic and not show us or allow us to even just listen. But
Oh, the circle jerk orgy?
I've always just wondered, why don't they just cut it?
This stuff we do on the second break.
We were just talking about that yesterday.
We
It's a
were.
weird timing, Adam.
He's not kidding. We literally were just talking about that yesterday.
I mean, we didn't do it. Don't pull that Patreon, but we talked about it.
And I understand Dave doesn't want to do that work. I get that. But it was always just one of those things that I'm like, guys, just go do your thing and just come back without us ever knowing that you left in the first place.
No,
but I was wrong.
You see how the sausage
Because
is made.
the more times you guys did that, it led us to the place where, forgive me if I'm wrong, but I think Dalton made a bumper for you guys.
Yep.
And especially for when you go pee-pees.
Yep.
And now you guys have changed and added things to it when you go do other breaks. And I was wrong. I love this. That is fantastic. I want you to take more breaks so that I can see how
Fuck it,
you
let's do
guys
it.
edit this
Seeing five.
bumper, and I think it's fantastic. So I was wrong. You guys did it enough for someone to say, hey, I'm going to make something for this. So, Dalton, if it was you, man, thank you. If it wasn't you, man, thank you anyway. You're freaking amazing and sexy. And I would love to see you in a string bikini. Even though I've never seen you in real life, I would like to see that. Anyway, guys, keep doing your thing. Keep taking breaks, man. Take them. And I love you guys. I was wrong, but I was never wrong to start listening to TADPOG some 7+ years ago. I love you.
We love you too.
We love you
And
too,
I
Adam.
love that you are recognizing the work that goes into the transitions on this show.
Yeah.
I have not yet heard, this is the first time I have heard from anyone about any of the stuff I've put in the between times. And I put a lot of work into that.
I know.
Thinking of something funny or relevant. And no one ever says anything. So thank you, Adam, for noticing. I'm glad you like the stuff we do.
Agreed. Also, it was Dalton who did the piss break bumper.
And actually, when he actually called, you may have still been editing the show.
Yeah.
I think I've
But it
only
was-
been doing it for like 6 or 7 months now.
It was on the tail end of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm glad you like that we do it.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, and you put a lot of work into the bumpers, I know, for sure. 'Cause
Sometimes it's nothing, and I just like last week I just used music from the game,
And
but-
that's pretty much what I was doing.
Yeah.
But I mean, you go out of your way a lot of times to
violate
you know.
copyrights. Yes,
Yep.
I do that a
Yep.
lot.
Yes, we do.
We get tagged on YouTube. Sorry, Dane, we get tagged on YouTube for that a bunch, but our YouTube channel doesn't make any money, so fuck them. If you listen to the show on YouTube, you're probably missing out on that bit of transition if I happen to use something that YouTube considers copyright infringement, and so they mute the show for that time. So if you want to hear those things, you'd have to go to one of our other many places like iTunes, Spotify, SoundCloud, not Stitcher.
Not SoundCloud.
Not SoundCloud, Stitcher.
Mhm.
That's why Tyler does that part, because I would get it wrong every time. All right, we've got another call here from beloved Adam. A day later.
What's up, Tadpog? It's your beloved Adam.
Hey.
I
Hey.
am driving to the dentist right now, and I am admittedly fearful.
Is he going to take that
I
skin
have
tag off for you?
to the tooth that I've just ignored, and I would have fear of what would have to take place to fix it. It doesn't make any sense to not go to something out of fear, because then that ends up making what needs to be done worse, which only creates more fear, which only creates more time. But you guys have all been to the dentist, and you know what I'm talking about. So
No, I
figured
haven't.
I'd call you guys and talk to you before I get there. I'm listening to an episode about Ultraman, and Ross sent in a quiz.
At least he's not listening to one of the episodes where I talk about getting my teeth
The
pulled.
teeth. Mm.
Because he'd have probably turned around and skipped his dentist appointment.
Maybe.
You think he flosses?
Yeah,
Adam, do you floss?
I think that he does. I
And I don't
be willing
mean
to
your
bet.
butt crack. I mean your teeth. Do
Well,
you floss your
obviously.
teeth? Let us know.
About 64 games. And Dave, as you know, I love the Nintendo.
I do know this.
The questions that he had written was this is the third game in a series of palm ruining or palm busting mini games, and obviously that's Mario Party 3. Fun fact.
Was it the palm busting or the thumb busting?
I think the technique was to do it fast.
Yeah, you put it on your palm.
Yeah.
Yeah. I forgot. You're right.
That only I would either know or either care about. But the only game in those first three that there are mini games that you spin the stick, also spin the stick with your palm because you want to win, is Mario Party 1. They took all of those game types out in Mario Party 2 and in Mario Party 3. So, the reason I know that is because Mario Party is one of my absolute favorite series of all time. This is the third year, I think, maybe the fourth. This is the fourth year running that I host a once-a-month Mario Party at my house.
Surely he doesn't play with his kids, or else he wouldn't still like that game.
I don't have a lot of experiences with Mario Party, so I can't really. I
didn't like playing. I don't like playing with our grandson.
I remember you telling the story about
it because he gets salty, and then I get salty.
Yeah,
and everybody gets salty, and I don't like that because then it makes it not fun. Anyway, maybe he'll tell us if I'll hit play.
If my friends come over, we play a Mario Party corresponding with the month of the year. So this month, tomorrow, we will be playing Mario Party 4 since it is April, the fourth month of the year. We keep track of the score. We play 35 turns. Whoever wins at the end of the night gets 3 points. Second place gets 2 points. Third place gets 1 point. Last place gets 0 points. We keep track on a scorecard, and at the end of the year, you get a trophy that we had 3D printed, and it's a great time to hate your friends for a couple days after the fact.
That's great. That's badass.
That's some serious Mario Party dedication.
I like that a lot.
That's some fellowship.
It is some
That's
fellowship.
what that is. That's some fellowship.
I love that they keep track of it all, like over the course of time. It's like serious. I know people that play Yahtzee like that.
Really?
They have a big Yahtzee group. However, we do sometimes think that they're using Yahtzee as a word to mean something like orgy.
Well, Yahtzee, I mean, sometimes it is fun to say Yahtzee when you finish. Yeah.
But I deem the Fellowship of the Fire Flower. Adam, there you go.
Fellowship of the Fire Flower, beloved Adam.
Annual
the
Mario
traveling
Party
pants.
tournament of the traveling pants.
You're going to have to write that down, but that's your new title. Fellowship of the Fire Flower, beloved
Adam.
Congrats on the new title. He's still got 30 seconds.
Just a big fan. So if the question I have for you guys is, if you were to organize a once-a-month video game night for you and a couple friends, what video game would you play?
Yahtzee.
Would it be something different every week? Would you play through a series, or would you continually play the same game like we do? We rotate through all the Mario parties throughout the year and just have a good time. So I would love to hear what kind of game competition you guys would create. And if you think about me at the dentist, even though this is going to be heard probably 4 or 5 months after the fact. But I love you guys. I'll be thinking about you the whole time while some other man is in my mouth. I love you guys. Bye.
Seems about right.
I think if I were to do it, I would buy up a bunch of games on the Switch like Clue and Monopoly and Yahtzee and those types of games, and then like go round robin through the list every month or whatever. Because it would be cool to have those board games only up on the big screen and everyone has a controller and can play that way.
More organized that way.
It's more organized. It's easier to keep score.
Yeah, for sure.
You don't have a big mess on the table where you got to work around it and stuff. I think that would be neat to have those types of games, like old traditional games.
Totally agree. There's I love board game to video game adaptations because there was Carcassonne that was on Xbox 360 and that fucking ruled because it's not only do you not have to worry about the pieces or keeping score, but you could play with strangers online and there's matchmaking and stuff, and it's so that's a lot of the problems with board games is you gotta find people to play the board game with you, and typically those people have to like be in your house, and like it has to be the right time. Everybody has to agree on a time. But like when it's online, it's just like, okay, whenever I'll find somebody, somebody out there wants to play this game, and we'll play it.
Well, and I also have a question for Adam. Do you guys have people that remote in and play remotely with you guys? Like if they can't make it, but they can still play, that would be neat too. I think you can play all the like Mario Party for the Switch. You can play that one remote, like in the cloud with other people.
That's cool.
I think it has the same like matchmaking too and stuff. So, Adam, can people just join your league, or do you like got to fill out an application or something?
Well, he said come to his house, so I guess they all do couch co-op. But that sounds cool.
That's
That
what he
does sound
said.
fun.
I was just
That
wondering
sounds-
if you couldn't make it, can you still play like remotely?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That sounds like a lot of fun, but it also sounds like a distant past thing. That is a thing that is like the fact that us three get together and record a podcast once a week is wild. You know what I mean? Like that's like, because like I talk to a lot of people and like they can't do that. You know what I mean? It's like whoa, that's wild.
I don't know. This came in last year, so they're still doing it at least.
Well, I think I don't know. I don't know. I don't want to say anything negative. I hope this continues to go on forever, for as long as beloved Adam wants it to go on. A tournament, Fireflower, Fellowship of the Fireflower, beloved Adam wants it to go on. But it's one of those things, man, where it's like there comes a point where it's like everyone just kind of gets to a point where it's like, here's a lot, right? There's like a lot to like balance and like manage and stuff. And it's like, it gets tough. I mean, I feel like we used to do stuff like that 10 years ago, you know?
Pre-kids, yeah.
Pre-kids and then kids. And it's like that's like a whole different thing.
I would take 3 months to plan it, but then the other 9 months do a D&D game where once a month everyone makes a different 20th level character, and we play through a gauntlet layer of hell. And throughout the year we play a different level of hell, how many kills with the CR rating, I guess experience, however we want to tabulate it. See if you can clear the 9 layers of hell, and then the winner of that would get the King of Hell trophy.
Would you call it D and Diablo?
It's pretty good.
It is pretty good.
Trademark TADPOG.
I think Mario Kart's a really good, like, obvious one that people probably do too. Because like Mario Kart's huge with all those booster tracks and all that. Yeah.
More?
I think that's pretty good.
Okay.
Seconded.
Yeah.
Those are good calls, but
Motion carries.
270-883-2555. If you want to give us a call, let us know what you
Tell
would
us
like
about
to
your
play.
skin tags.
Your skin tags.
Yeah. Well, thanks for listening, everybody. You can find the show on iTunes, Stitcher, not SoundCloud, Spotify, all over the place. Just type in TADPOG. We're there. Like Dave said, that's the phone number if you want to call us. You want to send us something, send it to TADPOG Studios, care of Nicole Nance, P.O. Box 3785, Paducah, Kentucky 42002. There's all sorts of shit closing, but most importantly, we got to hit that Patreon.
Yes, we do.
Man, and even like thinking about how hard it is to get people together. I'm sorry, I'm still continuing this conversation in my head. I'm in an online D&D group. It's a really good group, and really good people are in there.
For a while, too.
We have been playing for a while, but even that group is like, it's very difficult to get like 4 to 5 adults, like they're scheduled to like align to do a thing for like 3 hours. It's really fucking hard because we've gone like probably 5 weeks now where it's like I had a work trip, someone else had a work trip, there was a holiday, people had family in, and it's like, it's just, I don't know, man. It's wild. I'm just in awe.
It's crazy
that
they
beloved Adam
can keep it up.
Can keep this up.
Absolutely.
Anyway, sorry.
No, you're good.
I was trying to buy time, and then it turned into a thing.
I was eating my sucker, and I have this way of eating Charms Blow Pops Get the sucker down, almost all of the sucker off of the gum.
Yeah.
And then I twist the stick until it comes out. And then I suck
The gum does?
The stick comes out.
Oh, the stick comes out. Okay.
And then I chew the gum. I thought we were going to do another call. I got the stick out of the gum, and then my mouth flooded with saliva from biting into this thing, and I'm trying to gulp it down. Tyler's like, yeah, that's good. I'm like, gah.
We could have done another one.
No,
if we didn't know
fine.
the situation, I think both of us would have been like,
I can make you
one
go
more.
gawk anytime you want.
We haven't done it today. Just saying, it's almost bedtime, buddy.
Don't make Adam pull his Patreon pledge.
I won't be involved, so it's fine. Not a circle jerk, just a bud helping out a bud.
Just a Ray, point A to point B jerk.
That's right.
You know who?
I mean, if I watch, it's not a circle jerk.
It's a triangle jerk.
You know who else won't be involved? These executive producers that donate $20 or more to the show.
Smooth, yeah.
Every single month at patreon.com/tadpog or hopefully pisstasters.com.
Mm-hmm.
You too can do this if you'd like to hear our bonus content. We do have a new bonus episode coming soon. Tyler's got to get his busy schedule worked out, but we're going to get the new Scott Pilgrim follow-up. We're coming with that probably, I'm going to say, in July. Staying on our schedule of trying to release at least one thing a month. And then...
I'll get it done in June.
What?
We still owe one for June, right?
I thought we had one for June.
No, I thought the Scott Pilgrim was...
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
That will be done. That will be our June one.
Okay. Well, whatever, man. You do you. We went forever without having Patreon stuff, so if you can't, you can't. It's fine. Do what you can do, man. Work-life balance. We get it. Also... Oh, I said it. I was doing executive producers. I said pisstasters.com.
You did, yeah.
Okay, just making sure.
Yeah.
So the people that donate $20 or more per month, a.k.a. our executive producers, are Usurper Grimm, Cousin David Galino, Plinko Nick Price, Cubicle Monkey, Cthusiast Jeff Miners, Master Cycle Baron Kevin Link, Joseph Phillips, Gamebug Prime Nathan Eaton, Matt Gentile, a.k.a. Gentle G, Louisville Correspondent, Princess Consuela Banana Hammock, Flavor Trick, Taryn Dahl, congratulations on your marriage and on your probably longest executive producer title of all the list.
Is that her full title now?
It's going to be.
All of that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Pinball, Airplane, Archmage, Chris Edler. We're sorry you couldn't be on this episode. Platinum member Brett Miller, Sandwich Pope Phil Hawkins, Nate from Utah, first time caller, Drinksmith, Joey Webster, Dig Dougie, Derek Pope Sandwich, Cody Phillips, and who? We had another
Mike
one.
Jones.
Mike Jones. We had one. Is that who donated? We had a new.
Sick Jake.
Oh, Sick Jake.
Now, every time I hear who, I think Mike Jones.
Yeah, I forgot to add Sick Jake's name to the list. Sick Jake is back, baby. And we are super grateful to all of you for your donations.
Thanks, Jake.
Thanks, Jake. Thanks to the executive producers. Thanks to all of our donors. Even if it's $1 a month, it's really awesome of you to give us your money. For us to do the show. And we also want to thank Backlog Banisher Dane, Mr. Puzzles himself. He freely gives up his time each and every week to make sure our shows make it onto YouTube.
Mm-hmm. Thanks, Dan.
It's kind of badass if I'm being honest. And let's see, we got that. Still no word on the t-shirts. We'll let you know what we find out. And if you want to get on the conversation, ask questions, talk about the show, or anything for that matter, I don't care. I posted some of my music on the music channel on the Discord, bit.ly/TADPOG Discord. We've got a music channel, and I had been asked about, I had mentioned my band that I was in for a little while. I posted that music on the music channel. By the time this airs, you may have to scroll way up to find it. But it's there if you want to check it out, and you can share your stuff and do whatever you like. We're pretty easy going.
You want to see our skin tags? bit.ly/TADPOG Discord.
It's my avatar.
Skin tags, skintagpog.com.
Mm-hmm.
That'll get you to the Discord server.
Just try it. We promise. It'll get you to the Discord server. And yeah, spread the word about the show. Let your friends know. And because we'd love to have more listeners. We'd love to meet anyone. So come on the Discord. Talk to us. And I think that is all I have.
Our theme song is Moose by Sycamore Drive. Look at that track from the show at TADPOG.com. How you guys want to close it out?
As Dane's dermatologist.
Okay.
No, not Dane. Adam's dermatologist. Sorry.
They go to the same
What
guy.
are you doing here, Dane? We don't have an appointment.
We were expecting Adam. Tropical Capricorn.
I like that.
We
joke.
did it.
That was a
Done.
good joke.
Got
Yeah.
it.
I had a Canadian girlfriend in high school. All my friends did too.
Yeah. You haven't met her.
Sweet.
She lives in Canada.
She goes to a different school.
Nowadays, it'd be like, bring her up on FaceTime. I'd like to meet her. She doesn't have a cell phone.
She's on an Android.
They don't.
That's all they have in Canada.
Yeah.
They only use track phones in Canada. We're not allowed to.
Yeah.
They don't have
They
cameras
still
or
have flip
anything.
phones.
Motorola, discarded American Motorola flip phone.
They all have
Nokia.
ladybug phones for old people.
It's got like 4 buttons, and they're all speed dials to
My girlfriend's
their free.
96.
They're all speed dials to their free health care.
Sir, this is a lifeline.
Patreon.com/TADPOG or pisstasters.com.
Believe it!